$86.95.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
Or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It may only be summer, but Arizona football can't get here soon enough.
Lozano got a hole inside the 40, jumps to the left of the 30, down to the 25 to the 20, still going.
Catch Kendrick Risano and the Cats all season long, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Book took it all the way to the cup. He looked off Wimby. Kind of froze him just enough. Straightaway three off of the hand of Booker. Splash down. Book likes to look at the straightaway three, and why not?
It is obviously the July of transactions for the National Basketball Association. We've been talking about a lot of those this week. And happy to obviously see one that, we kind of expected was going to happen. And that is Devin Booker. He is not going anywhere in this summer of change up on Planet Orange that is going to see a new GM and a new head coach. And the dismissal of Kevin Durant down to the Houston Rockets and the likely pending dismissal of Bradley Beal to parts unknown, whereabouts unknown. Devin Booker is still going to be the face of the franchise. Suns and Booker have agreed to a 2-year maximum contract extension. This news literally broke right after we left the air last night. $145 million will keep Devin Booker with the franchise through the 2030 season. So that's another 5 years. Can you believe that Devin Booker is only 28 years old? This is maybe the one league, the NBA, because you get a lot of these guys that come in so young. It's like, man, he's 28. This is what his third contract. He's been around. I think this was year 9 or 10 already for Devin Booker. I mean, he's at 28. He's like an old man in the NBA.
Yeah, 2015 was his draft class.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy to think that he has been around that long with this franchise.
How many 28, 27, I think is how old he was. How many 27, 28-year-olds are the leading scorers in an NBA franchise history?
Oh, yeah,
that's
exactly.
the question. Leading scorer in the franchise's history. And that franchise has been around a minute.
Yes, for a very long time.
We should look that up. We should, because I would imagine LeBron is probably in that neighborhood. But
he probably broke the Cavs scoring record around that same age. Because he entered at, 18? Yeah, and he was a 23, 25-point scorer right off the bat.
Yeah. And the best part is with a 2-year, $145 million. Looking back on it, Steve Nash, one of the most accomplished players in NBA history with the Suns, his career earnings with the Suns was only $147 million. So with just this contract, Book's going to be getting almost as much as what Steve got his entire career.
Well, that's the real story. That's the real story of this. This is the largest contract extension yearly salary in NBA history.
Yep.
And it is also going to be the highest annual salary and extension in league history. $72.5 million is what Devin Booker will make next season.
Okay, you ready for this? 27, we said Booker. LeBron James was 23 years old when he broke the Cavs' all-time leading scorer.
23.
The
$72.5 million will push Booker ahead of the $71.25 million that Oklahoma City Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes every single season.
Those Thunder are spending a bit of money these days.
Yeah. We'll get to that part for sure. His annual salary, he's on the Supermax extension, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so that's $285 million. It's crazy. I mean, this is the month. This is the month to throw around money. Suns will again have Booker in the fold now for 5 years and $316 million. That's what it's going to have. That's what he'll get as they try to build around him now. Again, face of the franchise changes. Brian Gregory is in. James Jones is out. Ironically, James Jones has a new job as well this week. He is going to be moving into the NBA front office. So he is headed to the league, is James Jones. He is going to be the new vice president of basketball operations of the NBA. So that's interesting. You kind of figured he wasn't going to be hanging around to be a subservient to Brian Gregory.
Nah, you don't stick around with a place that ends up promoting you and firing you within the same breath, it seems like. So right. I'm not surprised James Jones left. I'm impressed that it happened so quickly. But when the NBA comes knocking at your door for a job, I mean, you almost kind of have to take that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you just talked about how much money Shai's making, how much money Booker's making. The interesting thing is the second apron problem with the CBA. A lot of teams right now, including the Suns, are over the second apron for the second time. And they're going to start seeing reduced draft picks. They're going to not be able to sign free agents. There's a lot of penalties along with the new CBA signed 3 years ago now. And it's interesting that they just locked up Shai and some other guys. The Thunder are spending a bunch of money. The Suns are spending a bunch of money on Booker. That's not generally the consensus of the best way. I mean, look at Oklahoma City just last year, all homegrown, all guys they drafted themselves, traded for Shai, drafted the other guys. So this idea of signing players to gigantic contracts in an era where second apron penalties and going over the luxury tax is a huge problem. A lot of players are talking recently, DK, about maybe the CBA isn't great for player movement because of that, because it restricts the front offices from signing players to big deals. What have we also seen lately? Buyouts. So why DeAndre Ayton got bought out from Portland. We saw another big buyout recently as well. That's just the idea of those franchises would rather not have those players on the books to count against and have a much reduced amount of money going on the books by buying them out so that they can clean out their salary cap and get under that apron.
Well, you talked about, obviously, what the Oklahoma City Thunder have done. They have signed a couple of their young guys to rookie max extensions. Jalen Williams from up the street in Phoenix has agreed to a 5-year max rookie contract extension that could reach $287 million. Chet Holmgren also reaching a max extension, 5 years, $250 million maxes. You talked about the apron, that second apron, which has kind of come into play a lot, and it's mainly because the Boston Celtics kind of had to break up with their team.
Yeah.
Because they had reached that, and they did not want to go into that whole situation for a second straight season.
A quick history refresher. This all kind of started with Boston, bringing over Kevin Garnett, and then happened with Miami, obviously with the Heatles and all that. But the big story was the Warriors, because when the Warriors went over the apron, their front office was happy to spend $200 million more than anybody else and pay $100 million a year in luxury tax just to hang banners. So that's where this new CBA came from, is they didn't want to see 5 max players all playing for the same team. All we talked about in that era when KD was in San Francisco was it's not fair.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't fair. I mean, these guys are unbeatable. Well, there has to be some kind of competitive balance. This new CBA affords so that you can't have. So what the Thunder just did, they locked up the 3 most important guys from that roster that just won the title over the next, for the rest of the decade. And if you're going to build around 3 guys, some of the other players are a little bit more interchangeable.
Yeah.
But it's scary, man. It's scary for some of these front offices to go out and make big splashy moves because what you're seeing is a lot of teams. I mean, Dame Lillard talking about, what happened in Portland, what's going to happen in Phoenix soon. A lot of franchises are cutting those big salaries right now because of that second apron.
I mentioned the Suns, a lot of changes. Jordan Ott, the new head coach, comes over, assistant from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Booker apparently was involved in the coaching search. That kind of tells you the cachet that he holds within that organization. He signed off on this hire by Jordan Ott, the coach that he wanted to play for. Hopefully they've gotten it right this time. And I don't know. I don't know if Devin was involved in the other coaching searches. Maybe he probably should have been. And we might not be working on our fourth coach here in 4 years in the desert.
Maybe it's less to do with Jordan Ott's knowledge and experience and more to do with having a very impactful personality coming in with a lot of their own rules and restrictions because they've been a head coach, DK, for decades, right? Like the hires that Phoenix has had are splashy named hires, guys that have been there and done that. Maybe D-Book is more a little bit open to having a communication with the head coach where they can try to get on the same page and D-Book can give some of his own input. Clearly with this contract extension, they want him to be there for his entire career. And I think a young head coach who's open to listening to what the veterans have to say, who've been around the league 10 years now, D-Book knows how the modern NBA works. So it might just be as simple as having a head coach who's more amenable to having a conversation about what they're trying to do as opposed to being told, Book, you go over there, KD, you go over there.
And you mentioned, obviously, the buyouts that we're seeing across the league, and that is one of the discussions being had now as what the future will hold for Bradley Beal. Suns are considering the possibility of buying out the final 2 years of his contract, which is said to be worth $111 million. Beal, obviously a 3-time All-Star. It just has not worked. 53 games. He has played just 53 games in each of his 2 seasons here with the Suns. What do they play? 82. So he's missed pretty much 60 games the last 2 seasons due to various injuries. And so the Suns looking to move on with that, with the acquisition of some new, younger talent in the deal for Kevin Durant, bringing over Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, drafting Kaman Malawak out of Duke this season. So the ever continuing change of the roster for the Suns is ongoing. We'll see. What do you guys think will happen with Bradley Beal?
I think the funny part about this is that he played in cold weather his whole career.
Yep.
And he and his family don't want to leave
Right.
the warm Phoenix winters.
No,
And so
once you
that's one of the main sticking points is the weather and being shipped off. What I've heard, I think he's going to get bought out, and I think he's probably going to wind up with the Clippers.
That'd probably be the best thing. The thing is how much does the rate of the money that he's getting right now, how much does that matter to Bradley Beal? That's going to be the question because he's sure not going to be able to get that contract back up with the Clippers. He's not going to get that kind of money. So does he want to keep his annual salary the way that it is, or does he want to have a 1-year prove-it kind of deal with another team? That's going to be what's most important to Bradley Beal in his camp.
They're so stuck, right? Because who did they just trade for? A young shooting guard, Jalen Green. So you're talking about Book and Green could work. What did we talk about mostly 2 years ago? It was they don't have a point guard.
They don't.
What are they doing? Like they got Book and KD coming up and playing point guard. They signed Ty Jones, but he just left, so he's not there anymore. So now we're talking about another season with 2 combo guards taking turns. So if you're talking about Beal, Green, and Booker, that's 3 guys who basically play the same position. So that's the big problem. Their roster is redundant.
Malcolm Brogdon, he's still out there. Malcolm Brogdon, at least get me 1 point guard for the roster. I mean, the guy is a proven winner. He won it with the Bucks a couple years back, but just a point guard on this roster, and I'll at least live with it. I'm not going to be happy, but I'll be content.
A point guard who can knock down an open 3. That's
yes.
The numbers for Devin Booker over the course, we mentioned, J-Dub mentioned 13th overall pick in that draft, 2015. So that would mean, let's see, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 this was his 10th season in the NBA. This past year, he's averaged 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, averaging 34 minutes per game. He's played in 673 regular season games. He started all but 25 of those games in his career, and he's also averaged 28 points. So we talked about averages going up in the postseason. 24 points during the regular season. He's averaged 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the postseason for the Phoenix Suns. Last year, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, averaging 37 minutes in 75 games for a Suns team that did not make the postseason this past year.
Real quick, Dragon Ball, you're the only Suns fan among us. Would you rather have the roster from 5 years ago or today's roster?
I'd rather have the roster of 5 years ago.
Because like Cam Johnson,
Yeah.
Cam Johnson just got traded to Denver. He's
Yep.
meant to be the new KCP. And then you've got, Ayton with the Suns, Ayton with the Lakers, and obviously Mikal Bridges, who was instrumental in the Knicks run. Like a lot of the pieces they had, and older Chris Paul, you might have gotten a different point guard, but those two young small forward, power forward, defensive stoppers, a big athletic, center, you might want to score a little more. But what he did bring, right, was agility. And they don't have any of those things right now. The things they're lacking are literally the things they traded away. Again, it's hard to argue with going after Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players of all time. But in hindsight, like that run to the finals and blown it up 18 months later, it just seems like had they stuck with that group, they would. DK, you just said they didn't make the playoffs last year. I guarantee you they stick with that group, they're making the playoffs.
Yep.
520-848-1290. Your thoughts on Devin Booker and the Suns getting a 2-year extension, the direction that the team is going. I should say J-Dub just mentioned the Denver Nuggets. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next segment. We mentioned earlier this week, Nikola Jokic not seeking a contract extension this summer. Is there still a window for the Denver Nuggets? We'll address that straight ahead. It is DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision at Broadway and Craycroft and Broadway Boulevard, also Prince and Romero and Prince Road. Roadwork on Grant, east of Country Club to east of Columbus. You could save time using Pima or Glen instead. 84 the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend. 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. It's cake batter. It's cookie dough. It's the new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard treat. Now at participating DQ locations for a limited time. Fly in today for this cosmic collision of flavor. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
It's time to bet against the Yankees. I'm Sammy Peep, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM network. Seattle righty Brian Woo's been pretty decent against the Yankees, and this game is a coin flip in the Bronx. That should tell you something. I like the price on Woo. Let's go Seattle minus 110 at BetMGM to slow those Bronx Bomber bats. I'm Sammy P from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today, and please, gamble responsibly.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.com.
Ever wish you could get advice from your future self?
Psst. Hey, you, present self.
Huh? Who said that?
It's me. I mean you, from 40 years in the future.
Future me?
Wow. Look, there's no time. The most important thing you need to do right now is go to Tobacco Barn.
Tobacco Barn? Why?
We could have saved a fortune.
What are you talking about?
At Tobacco Barn, you save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products. 40%! Do you know how much that adds up to over 40 years?
40%? Wow, that's a lot.
And get this, you pay no city or state sales tax. It's basically free money. Plus, there's a $3 coupon available at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
A $3 coupon? No sales tax, 40% off. Why didn't you tell me sooner, future self?
By the way, when you meet a girl named Charlene, don't ask her to marry you.
I already did.
Oh, crud.
Don't wait for your future self to tell you. Save today at Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, 1 mile south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said. Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing. Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program on this Thursday. We're going to talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls football coming up here shortly. Trey Henry from the Sugar Skulls will join us. They are mathematically still alive for the postseason at 6-7 on the season. They are coming off a 30-point win at San Antonio over the weekend, which, again, you look back just a few weeks ago, they lost by 20 to San Antonio at home. I mean, you got that win. If you'd won that game, you flip your record from 6-7 to 7-6, and now you're really in a good spot to potentially steal the third or maybe even fourth playoff spot, or fourth or maybe even third playoff spots in the Western Conference. Still 3 games left to go, though. Northern Arizona this weekend, this Saturday night up at Prescott Valley. That'll be a 6:05 ball game. Final home game will be the following Saturday against the Bay Area Panthers.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW.
And then the Vegas Nighthawks at 6:05 to wrap up the regular season. That'll be Saturday the 26th in Henderson, Nevada. 520-848-1290, again, is the number to get in on the program. We'll give you our question of the day coming up here as well. I kind of hinted to it yesterday, and we'll go over that now with the Big 12 football media days being wrapped up, and we are officially into college football mode. We'll be doing a lot of stuff. We'll be giving you a lot of different takes on the Arizona Wildcats football team over the course of the next few weeks. We'll talk some offensive line coming up a little bit later in our 4 o'clock hour as well. But I want to get back to a little bit of what we've been talking about with the NBA. And this was, we mentioned, obviously, some of the extensions we're starting to see as this is transactional month in the National Basketball Association. A few days ago, we talked about the situation in Denver, where Nikola Jokic announced that he was not going to seek a contract extension this summer, delaying talks until next summer. 2 Arizona Wildcats on that roster, much like there are on the Indiana Pacers, who made it to the NBA Finals. Those 2 Wildcats both have rings in Denver. In Zeke Naji, who's kind of been a bit player for the Nuggets over the course of his career there. And, of course, Aaron Gordon, who has been a starter and is really one of the faces of the franchise after that guy named Nikola Jokic. And when we talked about this the other day, I said, this sounds oddly familiar, like what LeBron James did prior to the first time he left Cleveland, Ohio. He opted not to sign the summer before. He opted to wait, and then we got the decision, which J-Dub professionally reminded me was 15 years ago yesterday, a day I've constantly been trying to forget in my life.
Time goes by fast, man. 15 years. That seems like not too long ago.
We talk about Devin Booker, already been in the league 10 years. Yeah, that was 15 years ago. So Nikola Jokic is going to wait a summer. Going to maybe see what's happening. He's got 3 years remaining on his 5-year deal, which is currently sitting at $276 million, the extension that he signed back 3 summers ago. Is there still a window for the Nuggets? They are, they won the championship just a few years ago. I believe, what was it, 3 years ago now that they won it? Of course, Boston won it last year. Oklahoma City won it this year. We talked before the beginning of this season, and JW, you were on it right from the beginning, how Oklahoma City was set up with their young talent. Is there still a window for the Nuggets?
Yeah, I mean, Porter Jr. is a problem, right? Because he had real flashes. He was a guy, I think he was drafted second or third. I mean, he was a very high draft pick. Murray as well struggled in the Olympics. He was the guy who was meant to carry that Canadian basketball team. Ever since that playoff run, he was the guy. You talk about upping your scoring in the playoffs. I mean, that dude, I think, has the highest percentage scoring. Jamal Murray talking about the highest scoring percentage increase in the playoffs relative to regular season. Those guys have been off and on. Joker is just the ultimate consistent NBA stat filler. I mean, there's never been a guy who consistently goes out there and gives you 25, 10, and 10 literally every single night. You got to build consistency around that. So I think Cam Johnson coming in for Michael Porter Jr., I think a much better defender, clearly. A guy who can actually put the ball on the ground. Porter Jr. really reluctant to drive. Who do they fill those up? You mentioned Zeke Naji. I mean, I've been hoping he could get enough time to show that front office, because what they need is 3-and-D, 4-and-D guys around Joker. Joker commands more gravity than anybody but Steph. He's going to command so much defensive attention. If you surround him with shooters and cutters, I mean, Aaron Gordon's in that dunker spot. He gets most of his dunks off of Joker assists. You just have to put the right pieces around him. I like their roster still. I think they had the injuries is what led to last year's record more so. A year and a half ago, it was really Murray's struggles 2 years ago in the regular season. But I don't know, Dragon Ball. I think that if you have the best player in the NBA, and until somebody takes that title away from Nikola Jokic, he is the best player currently in the NBA. You can win a title if you just put a couple of decent players around him. And Jamal Murray is a great second fiddle. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm. No, Jamal Murray's great. I think it's the mileage that he's put on himself because of the extended time with Team Canada and just the amount of minutes he plays in the postseason. We talk about how his scoring goes up in the postseason. His minutes also go up because they don't really have a secondary point guard to handle the ball up until they had Russell Westbrook this past season. The biggest part about this Nuggets roster moving forward, if they want to be a consistent championship pedigree, is going to be Christian Braun. He needs to be that guy. He needs to be a great driver. He needs to be a spot-up shooter. He needs to be everything that squad requires that they asked KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, to be when they got to that championship run, because he has the capability to really be that utility player in the perimeter. If you can focus on just letting Cam Johnson be the offensive stalwart at that 3 position and Braun being everywhere and do all that he needs to do, there's a chance that this team gets back in a deep run in the Western Conference next season.
That's one of the biggest issues, DK, is when you've got a guy who's the 5th, 6th, or 7th option and obviously has success. Why? Because he's got the 5th, 6th, or 7th best defender guarding him. He doesn't have a lot of attention and shows sign. Christian Braun has had some amazing games, some 30-point games for that team, really good facilitator and a very good rebounder for his size. The question then becomes, how does that production, does it stay at that level when he's guarded by some all-NBA level defenders? So I agree. I mean, I think Christian Braun is definitely in that pipeline for making a huge step. He could definitely be an 18, 7, and 5 kind of guy. As to whether or not that happens, like I said, it's so tough. So how many times have we seen, David Kelly, a player who was great as the 7th man off the bench, and then when get into that starting lineup as a 24, 25, 26-year-old, they don't have quite as much success against those top-level defenders?
And obviously you mentioned, and we've talked about it before, what is Zeke Najee's role with this team moving forward? Hey, if I could make $9 million playing 11 minutes a game in the NBA, I certainly would take it. But is there a pathway for him to be a rotational player in Denver at this point? This was the end of year 3 or 4 for him?
I can give
year 5.
Yeah.
So 5 years in the league, and he still has not really cracked the rotation.
2020 was the draft, yeah.
Yeah, I can give you the way that he becomes a rotational player, and that's if Jonas Valanciunas decides he wants to play in Greece rather than continue to play in the NBA. That's a big question mark right now in Denver. Does Valanciunas choose to be on this team as a backup center to Nikola Jokic, who, to be completely honest, that's not a bad spot for Jonas.
He's never had anybody.
Yeah,
who was it?
DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan slid in there for a little bit.
Yeah, so
for 5 minutes a game.
Yeah, if you can get somebody to be a stellar backup for Jokic, that's a huge boost to him and can save him for those, long stretches in the fourth quarter where, okay, it's time to make that one big run to put the game away. You can have a guy like Valanciunas, but if he chooses not to play and goes to Greece, Zeke Naji has to take that opportunity and say, okay, now's where I have to get myself involved in the rotation.
He's had a lot of opportunities. I mean, if you look at his numbers this year, if you especially look at the month of March, 21 minutes, 24, 37, 19, 21, 21, 31, 30, 22. That's his minute numbers, Zeke Naji, in the month of March. Down the stretch of the regular season, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes, 13 minutes. So clearly the coaching staff, whether it's defensive rotations or maybe not finding the cutter in a timely manner, his stats are semi-okay. I think the biggest thing they need from Zeke is good defensive pressure, same as he was in his short time at the U of A. Great rebounder and knock down open shots from the outside. That was the most impressive thing when Zeke was here on campus at the U of A, was he had a really pure stroke. He shoots 36 in his career from three-point, but 32 last year, and the numbers, guys, are very low relative to attempts. So he only took less than 1 3 attempts per game last year. He's one of those guys I would love to see get in for consistently 18 to 20, 25 minutes a game and be able to put up 3 or 4 threes per game, because that's the only way you're going to know if he can be that consistent producer. And again, got to surround Joker with shooters. He will find them, right? That's the best passing big man in NBA history. Just set your feet, look at the front of the rim, and just trust your mechanics and knock it down.
Aaron Gordon had some injuries issues this past season, obviously missed 31 games this season. Scoring average was up, rebound numbers were down. He did, however, and this was interesting, shoot the best he's ever shot from the line.
Well, remember, he built that court.
Year, and as well shot the ball well from 3.
Yeah, he built a court, right? And his shot, and his mechanics, and his repetitions, DK. There was a noticeable difference in, again, open 3-point shots, especially in the playoffs. If you watch the Denver Nuggets playoff run,
right?
Aaron Gordon's 3-point was people were sprinting out at him, right? And that has to do with having a court in your own home and taking it 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I got to get some shots up. That's what he's talked about. And obviously the off-the-court issues that he's dealt with and the city, rallying behind him. Every time he made one of those shots, guys, I've never heard cheers quite as loud from that Denver crowd. But, yeah, you're right. His shot, his form, and his confidence in letting it go and his much quicker release. He used to have a bit of a hitch. Much improved, very improved shooter.
And obviously he signed his contract extension right prior to the start of this past season. So he is locked up through 2030 as well. That will be his age 34 year there. And he's got a player option the season before that at 23. And again, like you said, he is well loved. He has found himself a home in Denver where hopefully he can finish out and become an icon of that franchise. But the question still remains if they can get back and potentially win a second title with that group at some point coming up here. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll dive more into what's going on with the Nuggets next week. We'll get somebody on from Denver and kind of see what the lay of the land there is, and what's the thought process coming from the inside in terms of where Zeke Naji, the Arizona Wildcat, might fit long term, if he fits long term there in the Mile High City.
While we're on the NBA subject really quick, there was some very sad news today. Coach Frank Layden of the Utah Jazz passed away, and I've never told this story, but Frank Layden's the only NBA head coach I've ever personally known.
Oh, wow.
My uncle ran and was the head. He owned a place called Bird's Cafe in Salt Lake City for a long time, and my uncle Dennis. And Frank Layden, Bird's Cafe was his favorite spot. He was there 3 or 4 nights a week. And my uncle, this is back before the real Stockton-Malone connection really got started, early 80s. The first time I ever sat, like 4 rows back from the bench, DK, was in the Salt Palace at Jazz games. And I love Frank Layden just because he always seemed like such an everyman. He was so personable, so hilarious, and very self-deprecating. The only person to win Executive of the Year and Coach of the Year in the same year, 1984, passed away yesterday. And, hearts and prayers go out to his family. Really, really well-loved around the community and didn't really have the longest tenure in the NBA, but I used to hear Frank Layden's stories decades after he retired.
A personality, for sure. One of those coaching personalities that you'll sometimes get in the National Basketball Association. Was there 81-89, 277 wins, third most in franchise history. And you mentioned the year that he won both Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year, 1984. How many guys are doing that now, if any? Running the team and coaching the team.
That was a weird. I mean, how many times have there been a player coach lately, right? Like back in those 70s, 80s years, it was just doubling up. Everybody have 2 jobs.
And he was still there when they drafted Karl Malone and John Stockton. So he was a part of those front offices that really helped set the stage for some great Utah Jazz basketball.
I know 84 was Stockton, right? Because Stockton was in the same class as Barkley and Jordan, and that was 84. So he was Executive of the Year for drafting John Stockton.
There you go. There you go. Rest in peace. Always in power for sure. Frank Layden. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. Tucson Sugar Skulls have 3 games left to go. Can they make the playoffs? We'll talk about that with Trey Smith of the Sugar Skull. Straight ahead. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported at Prince and Romero and Prince Road, and also Broadway and Craycroft and Broadway. We have got a road work along 6th Street between Alvernon Way and Campbell. Travel and turn restrictions. You could use Broadway or Speedway instead. 84, the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Amazon Prime Day. Okay, there's some good news and some great news. The good news is that Amazon Prime Day is here. The great news? This year, you'll have 4 days to find deals on all of your favorite things. Shop Prime Day now through July 11th.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
Throw to first, double play, and the inning is over.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Mikalakis hits it deep to right field. Does that have enough carry? I think it does. It is out of here. A 3-run home run. Settles underneath it, makes the catch. That is the inning, and that is the ball game. And the Wildcats get the win.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletic. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Expansion apparently coming to March Madness, even though very few fans actually want it. As usual, organizers and power brokers are doing what they want, ignoring their customers because they know we're still going to love every second of the action. I'm Andrew Bogish.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
On Friday, July 11th, Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions bring you 2 of the fiercest female athletes on the planet. One ring, one final chapter. Katie Taylor is chasing ultimate glory. Amanda Serrano is fighting for redemption and revenge. This is more than a fight. It's the first ever women's boxing trilogy, and the world is watching. The stakes higher than ever. The rivalry legendary. Who will win? Don't miss this epic showdown live from Madison Square Garden in New York City. Watch Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, Friday, July 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, live on Netflix.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Tucson Sugar Skulls, 3 games remaining and just one more game at home. The fellows will be on the road this coming Saturday up at Northern Arizona. That is a team that has won just one game this season. So you got to beat Northern Arizona for sure. Let's talk some Tucson Sugar Skulls football. Pleased to be joined by defensive lineman Trey Henry, who joins us now. Trey, appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time on this Thursday. Obviously, that's a game coming up Saturday. You guys are going to be heavily favored. You've pretty much handled business against the Northern Arizona Wranglers this season, beating them earlier in the year by a score of 44-24, and then again 59-38. But we all know football, you can never overlook an opponent. So what's the mindset going into this game this weekend up north?
Just like you said, never overlooking an opponent. I mean, you still have to go out and play football and take care of business each play until the game is over with. So those guys have a really good team up there, no matter what the record shows. So our focus as a team is just making sure we go play our brand of ball, no matter who we're playing.
All right, so this will be the third meeting between these two teams. I would imagine you know them like the back of your hand at this point.
Yeah, you would think so, but a game of football, you never know. There are adjustments. You play a team 3 times, they'll begin to figure some stuff out, make adjustments, and try to figure us out the same way we figured them out. So, it'll be like meeting for the first time all over again.
So what do you remember about those games? I mean, what do you remember about how they operate offensively? What are some of the things you guys did in those first 2 games to be successful and being able to get those victories?
The main thing that we've done as a team is focus on ourselves instead of them. When we go into the matchup, we focus on trying to execute what we have in place or our plan, and then try to play a good game of defense. Our offense does pretty well against these guys, so we just have to play a good game of defense because they have a good QB, and they have pieces, sneaky pieces, so you just have to pay attention to that and try and keep them score less than what they usually do.
So like you mentioned, and we hear that phrase a lot, we've got to focus on ourselves. So when you guys are playing well defensively, what are some of the things that you guys are really able to do consistently to be successful in those contests?
Starts with stopping the run. The game, you stop the run, you make a team have to pass the ball. We have really good DBs on the back end. We just have a good defense as a whole. So when we all start playing together, playing sound as one defense, it makes it tough for other teams to try and score the ball, and you can't win without scoring. So
we're chatting with Trey Henry. He is a defensive lineman for the Tucson Sugar Skulls, played his college football at Western Illinois. What's your background in the game in terms of how you got to Western Illinois and the decision to play some football indoors?
Yes, sir. I started off out of high school. I went to junior college in Highland, Kansas, and that was around COVID time where a lot of guys were getting their years back, and I just was ready to get out of junior college, and I ultimately decided to go play my ball in Western Illinois. Stayed there for 3 seasons, and then after that, of course, every guy thinks they can go pro, so you want to take the pro route, and mine just didn't work out that way, so I took the opportunity to come play for the Sugar Skulls and been having fun with it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, you when you talk about the opportunity to just keep playing the game that you love, I mean, that is really what it's all about. You guys coming off a huge win on the road at San Antonio. We were talking just earlier in the show. It's like you beat them by 30. This was like 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 weeks after they came in here and beat you guys by 20. That might be a huge loss when you come back to think about it, because if you could have handled business that day, you'd be in a much better position for the postseason. What were the differences between those 2 games, losing by 20 here versus being able to go on the road and beating San Antonio by 30?
Yeah, it wasn't much of a difference. Like I said earlier, you just have to show up and play every game. Like you can't take a game off. Every time you play someone, you have to go out there and give it your best and play your best. And the first time they came into town, I'll say that we didn't do that. So we got the second chance to go play those guys again, and this time we went out there and put on a show.
Billy Back, obviously the head coach. This is your first season here in Tucson. What was kind of are your early feelings about him and the coaching that you're getting from him and the rest of your defensive staff?
Coach Back is a great coach. And as far as the coaches on the defensive staff, they all take time to make sure each player understands what we have to do. They motivate us. I mean, I felt like I've never played for a better staff, even though it's a smaller staff. These guys always make sure that, we're taken care of and that we know our jobs and that we execute to the best of our ability. So I say that we have some of the best coaches in the Indoor Football League, if you ask me.
Trey Henry joining us, Tucson Sugar Skulls defensive lineman. Trey, it's interesting. We talk a lot maybe with the wide receivers and the defensive backs in indoor football, and just kind of how it's different with the wide receivers being able to move towards the line of scrimmage before the play. What are some of the differences for linemen, especially defensive linemen, in indoor football versus playing outside? Obviously, there's less guys. I think, but there's three on each side, or 4 and 3, or something of that nature. But what are some of the differences that you found playing defensive line in indoor football?
One of the big differences that stood out to me coming from outdoor football back to indoor is that, like, just the way we have to line up to start off the plays. Like, outdoor you could get a little bit of space and kind of have a guy kind of get out there and have to work in space. But it's also a way quicker game for D linemen. Like, you don't have as much time to try and work 2 to 3 moves. You have to try and execute on your first and second move, or not, the ball will be out so fast. So that's a huge difference for me. But as the season has gone on, I've picked it up and.
Chatting with Trey Henry of the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Trey, what does your off seasons look like? What do you do? You coach at all, or what do you do in the off season?
Yes, sir. I work out, and I will, of course, train and try and stay ready to play football, because it's a dream of mine to, get back outdoors. So train in the off season, and I'll be coaching at my high school back in Louisiana. I'll be coaching the D line. Nice.
Will this year be your first year doing that, or did you do that last year as well?
This will be my first season as a full-time. I've always helped out.
That's cool. You get a chance to, and that's Lake Charles College Prep in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where you played your high school football. Tell us a little bit about what that school and how successful you guys have been in football over the years.
Yeah, my high school started, they didn't have a football team up until 2014. It started off a little bit rocky, but since I won 3 district championships in high school, and they've been on the road ever since. I've been winning district championships since then. So my high school, they have a pretty good football team. They get guys to college, not only just the D1 level, but D2, D3, and, just give guys a chance to play football after high school.
There you go. And then when you got to Western Illinois, what was it like to be able to chance to play there and play at that level? I think they're with mid-major. Are they in the Missouri Valley, or what conference are they in now?
They are now in the OVC. My first 2 seasons there, we played in the Missouri Valley, and my last I played in the OVC, Ohio Valley Conference.
Oh, there you go. But that's great football over there. I am a former. I grew up in Normal, Illinois State, so I know a little bit about that type of football there in the state of Illinois. Well, hey, Trey, we appreciate you taking an opportunity to join us today. Continued success. You guys got 3 games left. Do you feel like you have to win out to get to the postseason?
As a team, whether it's about the postseason or not, we just feel like we need to win out no matter what, because we just have a group of guys that are competitive, and we want to win every game. So whether it has anything to do with the postseason or not, we just want to win those games no matter what.
Has Drew Dixon kind of been the de facto tour guide, showing everybody around what Tucson is all about?
Yeah, Drew's a good guy. Drew looks out to make sure everyone is taken care of, lets us know how Tucson is, where we should or shouldn't go.
There you go. Has he had any big cookouts over at his house yet?
Not yet. I might have to ask him about that.
Yeah, you got to tell him you got to get the grill out and have the fellas over. There you go. Hey, Trey, appreciate it. Good luck, and we look forward to these last 3 games this season.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you for having me.
Trey Henry, defensive lineman for your Tucson Sugar Skulls. Again, they've got 3 games remaining. They'll be at Northern Arizona this weekend, home next Saturday for the finale, and then a finale at home, and then the season finale at Vegas coming up. Right now, the Sugar Skulls are sitting in 5th place in the Western Conference. Top 4 teams make the postseason. Bay Area has clinched a spot. They are 10-3. San Diego has clinched a spot. They are 9-4. Vegas and Arizona are tied for the 3rd spot right now, so they are both in at 8-5, and then Sugar Skulls 2 games back at 6-7. So they would have to, again, they pretty much have to win out and get some help along the way. They'll play Vegas, so if they don't play Arizona again, but they play Vegas, they also play Bay Area. So all 3 of the teams left on the schedule out of the Western Conference, but you got to take care of business this Saturday against a 1-12 Northern Arizona team up in Prescott Valley to even have a chance to even think about what you might be able to do over the course of the next 2 Saturdays. All right, hour number 1 is in the books. We'll have our question of the day and our BetMGM Network top plays coming up for you next. I'm going to give you a little hint. The question of the day is about your Arizona football team. David Amata, Dragon Ball, is here. He's got everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, most of the focus for the Arizona athletics season right now has been on Big 12 Media Days for the football team, but the baseball team has had a rather successful time recently with the transfer portal, adding a few last-minute additions following last week's closure of the portal. Cade Thompson will be returning after redshirting his freshman season, and also joining Thompson, they've had 7 commitments for this upcoming season, including star Tulane pitcher Luke Flata and Milwaukee star infielder Tyler Bickers, just to name a few of those names. And the Suns and star guard Devin Booker, you heard us talk about it earlier, they look to be tied up at the hip even longer. They agree on an extension that will leave Booker here through the 2029-2030 campaign. The deal also carries a new NBA record for highest annual salary in one deal, the extension worth $145 million. Again, 75 games last season, Booker averaged just over 25 points a game and a career-high 7.1 assists per game as well. But the deals didn't stop there, as the association has another key member for the Oklahoma City Thunder's core getting a max rookie deal as well.
On the drive, kicks it out Williams. Williams to the rack, high off the glass, it's good, he did it again! Game 1 of the conference finals at Madison Square Garden. He can get hot. Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! 40 points for Jalen Williams.
Again, Jalen Williams signs his new 5-year, $239 million extension to join up with Chet Holmgren, agreeing just a few days ago as well.
He could buy a whole neighborhood of streets up in Phoenix now.
No, absolutely. Him, Holmgren, and reigning MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are all slated to finish out the decade with the Thunder, at the extension signed in the past 10 days at the price of $822 million for just the 3 of them. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Good again. Caleb Love now taking over the game.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions that are reported Prince Road and Romero, Wetmore, and Flowing Wells and slowing at the intersection. Also a crash at Cortero Farms Road and Hartman Lane. 84 the overnight low, 105 tomorrow, and through the weekend, 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
People always say, Ryan, why don't you take it easy? Relax a little bit. Well, that's what the Staples Easy button is for. Just press it for quality products, friendly experts, and services like print, travel, or shipping, because we can't do it all. All right, guys? Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
What's right?
What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right?
That I have my earbuds in.
No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that?
Yes, here, use my earbuds.
Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376.
Arizona's free safety position has a new name, the Bear.
a little ferocious name.
But it's going to be intercepted by Arizona. Genesis Smith.
Bear down with Genesis Smith and the Cats all season long, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first, before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
The American Red Cross is asking you to give blood or platelets now. Type O blood donors are especially needed. Your donation could make a difference for a patient in need. Use the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to book your donation today.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. What does it take to work for Arizona Athletics?
Whenever we hire anyone, we talk about high, low, high. High character, low ego, high outcome and energy.
We are your home for U of A sports. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, at least the Boston Red Sox held up their end of the bargain in our BetMGM Network top play yesterday.
2 on, none out. The pitch to Duran is a drive deep to right field. It is back. It is gone. Another massive homer for Jarren Duran, and it is 10-2 Red Sox.
Jarren Duran. So yesterday we had a parlay in our BetMGM Network top plays.
Dragon Ball, do you know how to spell parlay?
P-A-R-L-A-Y?
There you go.
I'm not asking because I know. I'm just asking if you knew.
You could win a spelling bee there, Dragon Ball.
I was in a couple of those. I'm not going to be very proud to say that, but I was in a few of those.
The team that
I was on the chess club. So there.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
you
in
still
like
play?
Elementary school. Yeah.
Oh man, we might have to. You think we should? We should do that. We should play chess. Play chess on the air in front of all these cameras.
I'd rather take your money playing the game that you and I love more, which is backgammon.
Oh, okay. Well, then we got to get a backgammon game going. Then we got to get a backgammon game going. So the team that didn't hold up their end of the parlay happened to be the Diamondbacks. We'll get into the Diamondbacks a little bit later, but they won again last night by a score of 8-2 over the Padres. We had the Padres and the Red Sox winning on the money line last night. So unfortunately, we lost that bet. We did, however, have the Diamondbacks and the Padres over 8 runs. And thanks to all the home run hitting that the Snakes did last night, we did win that particular bet to the tune of 8-2. That's 10 runs. So we were 2 over the 8 in that contest. So unfortunately, though, we ended up losing about $1 because we lost $12.90 and we won $11.87. So we lost $1.03 on our total. So we're still $179.71 in the hole on this current 162 bet season of our BetMGM Network top plays. What do we have for today? I think it involves the Red Sox again.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Let's take the over 9 runs scored in the Rays and the Red Sox game. The Red Sox have hit the over in 6 straight while scoring at least 6 runs in every game during that stretch. The Rays sit just out of the top 10 in OPS overall, but have been red hot as of late. Tampa Bay ranks third in baseball over the last month in WRC+. Let's go over 9. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
So it is over 9 at the BetMGM network, BetMGM book, but it is 9.5 at the Desert Diamond Casino sports book. So we usually go by their numbers. Desert Diamond Casino, 9.5. So an extra half run. So we got to get 10. Either way, we're going to have to get 10 to win. So it really doesn't matter. So Rays and Red Sox, 9.5 over plus 100 tonight. So your $12.90 bet will get you back $12.90. So it's a little bit risky, but we'll take that game. We also have another bet. Both these games are coming up here. So get in on this quickly because I think the Rays and Red Sox starts at 4:10. The other game we have here starts in 1 minute. So hurry and take the Mariners over the Yankees on the money line at minus 117. You can get $11.61 back on that play tonight.
You know, if you added Walker Buehler and Taj Bradley's ERAs together, it's just under 10.
Just under 10. That's probably how they do that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time.
That's a factor.
They still look at the ERAs.
Yeah, it's not an old man stat for books.
Right, sure. For the books, for sure. So Rays Red Sox over 9.5 runs. That's a 4:10 first pitch. And Mariners Yankees starting here in about, what do we got? 15 seconds. So get that bet in. Mariners Yankees 4:05 first pitch. Mariners at minus 117 tonight. Those are your BetMGM Network top plays for today. All right, want to talk a little bit about, and we'll coming back a little bit later, we are going to let you hear from the Suns rookies who were in town this week. We were very focused on the Big 12 football media days the last couple of days, but the Suns had all of their rookies in town. So we're going to let you hear from them coming up a little bit later. But first, I do want to talk about, and we talked about this on the show yesterday, and that was the win by your Phoenix Mercury last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, over the Minnesota Lynx, a game that they won 79-71. They did not have Satu Sabali. She did not play. They did not have Kalia Copper. She did not play. They still don't have Lexi Held. She's been out since the collapsed lung on the Eastern Seaboard road trip. So Alyssa Thomas had to do all the heavy lifting yesterday against the best team in the WNBA. And she did a lot of heavy lifting in that
game long. Bonner, nice pass inside. Thomas will lay it up and in. There's that connection between Bonner and AT. Minnesota's outscored them 27-14. Getting late here at PHX Arena. Alyssa Thomas, though, trying to keep him in at 21 points. Now a season high for AT. X-Factor making some noise. The offense running through Collier, but it's stolen away. Thomas, physicality, Mercury on top.
And she's looking to score, and her teammates are getting into the ball.
It flipped on a dime. Thomas, head down, falling away. Why not another? 29 for Thomas.
29 points for Alyssa Thomas in the 79-71 win for your Mercury, snapping the Lynx 10-game winning streak. And I believe the Lynx, they did play again today. They're playing a lot of these early games. They call them the camp games, where they have all the summer camps and stuff that come out. So they were literally back on the floor today already. That's crazy. I think Nate Tibbetts had said something. They had, they made one team go across country and play a game, I think, after, it might have been after a night game. And Nate talked about that. We may try to get that for you for tomorrow. But yeah, the Lynx played, I'm sorry. I'm getting these teams mixed up. The Wings. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The Lynx played at noon against the Sparks today. Yeah.
And then they played again. So they played at noon yesterday, and then they played at noon again. So essentially it's just, I guess, since both games are day games, it's kind of a normal back-to-back.
Yeah, if you tip at 7 p.m. and then ask them to come back at noon the next day.
That's a little crazy. So maybe not as bad. But they did win today, did the Lynx 91-82 over Kelsey Plum and the Los Angeles Sparks. So a new winning streak being started for them. But again, back to Alyssa Thomas and her performance, 29 points, 8 rebounds. She shot 14 of 24 from the floor. Let's hear from the head coach, Nate Tibbetts, on the big win for the Mercury over the Lynx.
A career high with 29 points, especially with DeWanna Bonner's return. Talk to me about what fired her up ahead of today's game.
Well, I think we talked about it before the game. Minnesota, is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. I think we talked about it before the game. Minnesota does a good job of taking away our threes. We've kind of struggled in that area. So there was a lot of room to work for AT. Pretty amazing. That's her career high. So awesome that she did it today. I mean, it was a heck of a performance by her. She's had 2 back-to-back big-time games. She did it attacking downhill. She found it on her rolls. This is a team that we're still figuring out who we are and how teams are going to play us. Minnesota is obviously one of the teams that is trying to take away the threes, and we kind of lived in the paint tonight. And when you take away the threes, that's what you got to look for, is scoring in the paint. But I want to give the credit to our defense. I mean, we did an unbelievable job in the second half. What Mo did, Courtney Williams is an all-star. Mo really competed at that defensive end in the pick and rolls.
Coach, particularly against Nafisa and in the first half especially, what did you see out of the execution, out of the game plan defensively against her?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game plan is just you put AT on one of their best players and let her go to work, right? She does such a great job of not fouling. She understands tendencies. There's no easy possessions against her. She just competes at an extremely high level. And yeah, I mean, absolutely unbelievable performance by AT today.
And Alyssa,
All right, that was the head coach, Nate Tibbetts of the Phoenix Mercury. Alyssa Thomas, career high, 29 points in that ball game.
But don't ask her when she learned how to score good.
Right, exactly. She'll tell you she was the best scorer, male or female, from the University of Maryland. She's played, I think this is her 11th season in the league. She's been around for a long time. So obviously she played for what's her name? Brenda Freeze at Maryland, the former Arizona Wildcat who's been in that building and running that program for a number of years. First time she has played outside of Connecticut, though, because she was with the Connecticut Sun for her entire career. Big win yesterday for your Mercury, and they'll be back at it again coming up here later this weekend. The Mercury will now move on and continue at 14-16. They'll play their next game coming up here, if I can find the schedule real quick, against the Valkyries. That'll be on the road, and that will be – so they have actually some time off. They don't play again till the 14th, so that'll be on Monday, I think, or Tuesday.
You know who else is really good at scoring?
Who's that?
DeWanna Bonner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's right up there in the league's leaders as well.
Third all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Third all-time leading scorer. I was trying to look and see where AT was, and I'm not seeing it right now. But yeah, DeWanna Bonner, third all-time.
So we are joined now by the fourth member of our program. I stayed up a little late last night.
Why'd you do that?
Well, so I went to the gym, and I got they have TVs at the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on one of the TVs, they were showing the original Superman.
Oh, okay.
So you know that the new Superman is coming out tomorrow.
Yes,
Who's going to go see it?
Not tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to go see it.
I'm going to try to catch it here.
Yeah, are you going, Cricket, to see Superman?
No.
No. So we have to go see it because they filmed a lot of it in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh,
so my wife's like, "Oh, we got to go see it because they filmed it in Cleveland."
We got to go see it because James Gunn is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So I got hooked on because they showed Superman, the original Superman, and Superman 2 were on A&E. last
Did
night.
you stay at the gym
So
for
no,
2
well, no.
movies? Holy, you must be
in
exhausted.
some gyms you can do that because they have the cinema room there, and you can just get on the treadmill
And just go,
I think my wife said she did that the other day. She was on the treadmill for like 2.5 hours. She's like, I was in there for an entire movie. But no, I watched some of it at the gym, and then I watched the rest of it when I got home. So I was up a little late. I was like, oh, Superman. Then Superman 2 came on. I was like, well, I got to stay up and watch this. And it just takes you back. I mean, it takes you back to, and you forget like how much of an Adonis Christopher Reeve was. I mean, he was such a big and powerful looking dude in those movies. And it's so funny. I mean, we just lost Gene Hackman, who was a major star in those movies with Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
I mean, the way he played that role and the way he I mean, who can ever remember him iconically yelling Miss Tessmacher throughout the entire movie? I mean,
That was such a James Bond villain character, right? With like the piranha pits.
And then Otis is like stumbling partner. I mean, every good villain has to have a stumbling cohort, right?
It was really a comedy, right?
It was absolutely a comedy. Cricket, were you into any of those Superman movies growing up?
That was like, what, 81?
Yeah, like 81-ish?
Probably, but not like hugely or whatever.
So you weren't in love with Christopher Reeve? No, that wasn't one of your people.
No,
you didn't have a poster of him on your wall.
I did not.
No. Okay. Yeah, it's sad. Obviously, his story he was paralyzed in an accident and passed away. But just to go back to you start to remember the lines from those movies. Then you forgot. It's like, oh yeah, that was a really cool line. Like Superman 2. When the bad people from Krypton arrive in Houston, and they're actually in suburban. They're actually in this little town outside of Houston, which is hilarious. And the mean guy, General Zod, he's like walks up on this guy. He's like a general from the army, and he's like, "Oh, you're a general here? Who do you answer to?" And the guy's like all stoic, and he goes, "I answer only to the president." And then General Zod goes, "And he will answer to me." I mean, just
I think
great movie lines.
Some perspective for the younger listeners is that in the early 80s, this was predated Blockbuster, which obviously predated the internet. So what we had VHS and beta. You could play movies at home, but there was no place to go rent movies. So in general, households had 5 movies that we watched a million times over and over and over again. And Superman certainly was super popular around those times. So that was definitely a movie I must have watched 10 times before I turned 10. You know, it was all over the place.
Great stuff. Great memories of that genre of movies. And I never really was into I didn't grow up into the comic books and that kind of thing. So it wasn't like I was really into a lot of the superheroes. But I remember those movies and how cool they were. And the music, I mean, the orchestra music. I've always been into the great orchestra type music soundtracks.
The scores.
The scores, and that is one that has
I like early 80s New York newsroom fashion. That's what I like.
Right. Exactly. Fun stuff. So if you're going to see Superman this weekend, let us know what excites you most about this new, I always say it's like, do we have to keep making old movies? Like, can we just move on to something that's newer? So I'm kind of anxious to see how they make this, if it's the same type of storyline, how they change it. Obviously, there'll be new graphics and it'll be futuristic and all of that.
The thing is, the first Superman comic was 1938.
Right.
Meaning that it's not so much making a new movie of the old movie. It's like there's infinite resources. There's infinite material that any director can go and read off the pages. So there's so many stories they can tell. So they're definitely not going to do a remake of Superman, especially knowing James Gunn. It's going to be out there.
Did you have any favorite superheroes? Did you have a superhero at all?
I mean, if I was going to pick one, Superman was the coolest one.
Okay.
And when you were a kid and 10 years old, if you could have a superhero power, what do you want to fly like Superman? So but I was also never a comic book kid, like you just said.
Right.
I wasn't really into I read a lot of Walking Dead, but those aren't really superheroes, but comic kind of books, sort of.
Yeah, graphic novels.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like that. But
there you go. I always loved Batman, too. I was a big Batman fan.
Oh, yes.
Apparently, Joe Burrow is, too. He was going to buy a Batmobile, a actual replica
Read about
Batmobile
that.
right before they broke into his house. So probably
Oops.
a good thing he didn't do that, because they might have that probably would have been the first thing they try to steal.
Yeah, I think he hinted
is
about
the
that during the
Batmobile.
Hard Knocks footage and stuff like that in one of the practices.
All right, so Batman comes out. It is in
Superman.
theaters. I'm sorry,
Superman comes out. We've had
Superman
plenty
is
of
in
Batman
really.
movies.
No, there's a lot
Yeah,
more
we really
Batman
have.
good movies coming out, too.
Well, we can
so
have that
you're not
discussion.
wrong.
Where which is better, the Superman movies or the Batman movie?
Well, there's been like 10 different directors for Batman movies. It depends. Like Tim Burton's great, but the newest one, I'm trying to think of his name, Matt something, but the new one was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So head on out and see that this weekend. If you're going to go out, we'd love to hear about what you're most excited about, the new Superman movie. All right, Cricket will not be seeing Superman this weekend, but she'll be out doing super things.
Yes, sir.
As she always is, getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported 22nd Street near 4th Avenue, Cortero Farms Road and Hartman Lane. Also crash at Wetmore and Flowing Wells. Some slowing at the intersection of Flowing Wells and Wetmore. 84, the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, and 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you? And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best steel, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first, before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Patrick Claybon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The reigning NFC South champion Buccaneers may start the season without two-time first-team All-Pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Wirfs underwent arthroscopic knee surgery on Tuesday. He initially injured that knee in Week 10 last season against the 49ers, only missed one game, but re-aggravated the injury during work this offseason. If Wirfs were to be placed on the physically unable to perform list, he would miss the first 4 games of the season. The Washington Commanders unveiled alternate uniforms drawing inspirations from the ones that Washington wore during all 3 of the franchise's Super Bowl wins in 1982, 1987, and 1991. The uniforms make their debut Week 9 on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks. They will also wear them Week 13 against the Broncos and on Christmas Day in Week 17 against the Dallas Cowboys. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today, while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the phone number. Call us or text us. I still have not given you the question of the day. We will get to that in our next segment because we will have some Arizona Wildcats football-related content for you coming up at 4:40. We've been talking a lot of Suns today, though, with the contract extension signing of the face of the franchise, Devin Booker. Summer League is getting underway. It's been underway, but the Las Vegas portion of it starts today, and the Suns will have a squad out there in Las Vegas that will feature all of their players, their young players. They'll play the Wizards tomorrow to start things off. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. But first, let's hear from the Suns rookies. They drafted 3 players this past month or a month ago. Kobe Bray was drafted out of Kentucky, a young man who we saw quite a bit of. Kaman Malowich, a center out of Duke. Wildcats played the Blue Devils twice this past season. He is just 18 years old, is Kaman Malowich. And they also drafted Rasheer Fleming, a forward out of St. Joseph. We will hear from them as well as the new general manager of the Phoenix Suns, Brian Gregory.
Phoenix Suns 2025 draft class. First, Kaman Malowich. No, not yet. Rasher Fleming. And Kobe Brea. All of these three young men have had exceptional college careers, but they've all taken different journeys and different paths to get to this point tonight. And they are just wonderful, wonderful young men, and we're excited to have them part of our organization and our team moving forward. One thing that they have in common, though, when we talk about building our identity and what the Phoenix Suns is all about and what can make everybody in this gymnasium proud and everybody in the Valley proud, these guys have it. They are unbelievably hard workers. That's why they're sitting up here today, because they work hard. They're not afraid to grind out the work on a daily basis. They have an unbelievable competitiveness that's relentless in what they're trying to get done. They're goal setters. They set those goals and they do everything they can to achieve them. They're great teammates. They look out for each other. They've been with us for a week and you can already see that. And they have some great mentors sitting in the first row over here that are making sure that they know exactly what being a Phoenix Sun is all about. And they do it on every single day. They got great work habits, high character, and one thing that they know that's important is they are ready to go out there in the community and make an impact in the community as well. So when we talk about what we're all about, these three guys up here, these three young men, represent it every single day.
My name is Kaman Madid Malwash. I went to Duke from South Sudan. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be here, to be part of this great culture and this new thing we're gonna start. It's just a beginning for me, and thanks to everybody that has helped me to be in this position today. And I'm so excited to do this journey with everybody right here in this community.
Rasher.
My name is Rasher Fleming. I'm from St. Joe's University. I'm just super excited and super grateful to be here with this organization. I just can't wait to get to work.
Kobe Brea.
I'm Kobe Brea, and I went to the University of Dayton at Kentucky, and I'm just super blessed and honored to be a Phoenix Sun and to go through this year and embrace what it is to really be a Phoenix Sun, not only as a player, but also just be out in the community with you guys and spending time with you guys. So, like I said again, just honored and blessed. Thank you.
All right. All right, we'll open it up to some questions.
Hey everybody, Gerald Bourget, PHNX Sports. Brian, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Kaman, Rasher, and Kobe. This is a question for each of the rookies, if you wouldn't mind answering individually. Now that you've gone through the whole draft process, you've heard people talk about the strengths and weaknesses of your game. Now you know where you're going to be starting your NBA career. What are you most excited to show people from your game?
Should I go first? For myself, I'd just say just to be able to show that I can do it at this level. I'm somebody that's extremely confident in myself, and I feel like every level that I've gone to, whether it was high school, college, and now in the NBA, I just want to be able to show that, I can do it here too. So that's the biggest thing for me.
I think for me it's pretty similar. My game in college is pretty much like a 3-and-D guy, but I think coming to this organization with the staff and the guys that we have, all great guys, they're all going to be pushing me to do more and better at just a higher level, so I just can't wait to do that.
To me, it's just staying in the gym and working hard every day, work on my overall game, and just keep on getting better and just keep on doing whatever I've been doing for the past years.
Hey guys, Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. Welcome to Valley. Nice to meet all three of you. I wanted to ask all three of you about moving to the NBA with your individual games. Specifically, there's more pace, there's more space for all three of you to answer what parts of moving to the NBA style do you think will benefit your game in the ways where college can kind of be a little bit restrictive on some of the things you can do.
For me, I think that, like you said, the spacing is just way different. it's way different than college. So I think it just opens up a lot more things to happen on the court for me and other guys. So I think that's one of the main things for me.
Yeah, I think just playing at Kentucky last year really prepared me for the pace that's played in the NBA now. Just seeing how much faster it is and how much it continues to grow, and especially now the three-point line is so important in the NBA. So just being able to keep the floor space and, just understanding the guys that I have on this team that, can really, benefit me and I can benefit them as well. Just giving them an outlet is something that they can trust to, his shot. So I think the spacing will be really good for me.
To me, it's expected. It's going to be a faster game, but we're going to have more space, as they say. That's going to open up more drives, and it's going to create more opportunities for my team. And it's just sometimes just about finding a role quick in your rookie year and being able to be impactful, whether you don't have the ball in your hands or if you have the ball.
You deserve the best.
And that was your Phoenix Suns rookies at their press conference earlier this week. Again, they have headed off to Las Vegas, where they will be in the Summer League in LVNV, and we will see Carter Bryant in his first game there later tonight.
Yeah, he's matching up with a very familiar opponent, DK. If you might remember, they played quite a few NBA #1 draft picks, including several of Cameron Malawach's teammates. But that's Carter Bryant's first two games this week in the NBA Summer League are against top 5 NBA small forwards. So he's going to have his hands full right from the start.
Should be interesting. We'll keep an eye on everything that's happening in Las Vegas over the course of the next 2 weeks, as all of the Arizona Wildcats will be there. We've seen some workout videos of Caleb Love training with the Portland Trailblazers, and of course the 3 Arizona alums who are on the Miami Heat roster with Keyshawn Johnson, Umar Ballo, and Pella Larson as well. And Bronny's even going to be there for the Los Angeles Lakers playing. So a couple games underway already. Thunder and Nets, Magic and Kings playing today in Las Vegas. Lakers and Mavericks will play today. Nuggets and Bucks later. We mentioned the Spurs against the Sixers. 2 games already final from today. Timberwolves beat the Pelicans, and the Pacers knocked off the Cavaliers.
There's a bit of history with the Portland Trailblazers first-round pick winning the NBA Summer League MVP.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Jared Bayless back in 2008. He was a Trailblazers draftee, and they let him get a loose. Obviously, Caleb Love undrafted, but you would imagine that the front office up there, guys, is going to want to see what Caleb Love can do in this short amount of time. I think they got 7 games, plus there's a little bit of a playoff, and now is the time. Obviously 5 years in college, but what you do at that pace and space, like was just said, I'm sure that they're going to let Caleb Love get some shots up.
We'll dive in maybe a little bit later to DeAndre Ayton's presence in Los Angeles wearing the purple and gold. But coming up next, it's your question of the day on your Arizona Wildcats and just how good of a team they may be in 2025. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions that are reported at Fort Lowell and Oracle. Oracle and Fort Lowell. 22nd Street near 4th Avenue, Swan and Camp Lowell, and also Flowing Wells in Wetmore, and some slowing at Wetmore and Flowing Wells. 84 is the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, and 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health, too, with Nature Made Probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy. We live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one. He's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. Jump in on the program right now. I'm going to tell you about a great sweet deal. I mean, this might be one of the better sweet deals we've had. And I'll tell you about that here coming up in just a few minutes. All right, Big 12 Media Days wrapped up. 2 days in Frisco, Texas. Brent Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, he was apparently really impressed with the setup there. He kept asking everybody how they liked it. I mean, look, it kind of just what I saw, the setup looked the same. The venue obviously was different than Allegiant Stadium, but the setup kind of looked the same
I have some
to
notes.
me. Oh, you have notes?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have notes?
Yep.
Okay.
The problem
let's hear
was, I watched the whole thing because it's our job. And the problem was is that the mics that they had, well, first of all, the hip-hop music that they had was questionable. But number two, whoever's spinning the DJ might have needed to be replaced, DK. But number two, the problem is that the sound of the music they had under the whole thing was at like 10%. Then they had the bands come in right before the coaches, and that sound was at like 10,000% what it should have been.
Did you see
and
the
then the mics for the coaches were somewhat like they sounded like they were in an echo chamber. Like, just the sound I think was.
Did you see the video when Whittingham is being interviewed on ESPN? And it was right before Brent Brennan went to the stage, and like Bear Down starts blaring, and it scared him. Like he's in the middle of a sentence, and like the band starts playing Bear Down. And he goes, okay.
Those band members are meant to project. Like they're taught to project the sound of the back row, the upper rows of a stadium, and you're talking about that same noise walking 5 feet behind an interview. Yeah.
All right, so J-Dub's notes.
I liked the spectacle of it. I didn't maybe like the execution quite as much.
Yeah, it wasn't as grand, like you mentioned, DK, as it was from last season. But when you're going from a rather large space to the practice facility of an NFL franchise, which, to be fair, if the Dallas Cowboys are going to do it, they're going to do it big. But it's still a practice facility. You're still in a dome, which, at the very least, I will give them that credit, that they went ahead and they went to a place that had good controlled air conditioning, considering the heat wave that's been going around lately.
Got to.
So no, I'm think that it was nice to see it a little bit more drawn back, but with Brett Yormark saying he's looking to have this thing go global, I'm interested to see if maybe next season it's going to be at the top of some kind of a bizarre like skyscraper or something for next season.
I don't care about what we think as much as I care that Brett Yormark is very highly invested in the image of the conference. And he understands moving forward that it's all about that. And so the projecting of, being modern and doing all the different things that they're talking about doing, the crossovers with WWE and doing stuff in Ireland and just the fact, DK, that he cares. And the fact that almost every coach up there thanked the commissioner. He's only been there, 2 years? So, I mean, he really has the conference's best interests at heart, and there is no doubt about that.
Speaking of bizarre skyscrapers, have either you two ever been to the Willis/Sears Tower in Chicago?
No. I've been to Chicago, but never been to the Sears Tower. I'm going to call it Sears Tower.
So they have that you can go to the top, and it's like it's enclosed. It's all enclosed, but they've got like this area where you can literally step out and onto the glass, and you can like look down past your feet and see like all the way to the ground.
I did the roller coaster on top of the Needle in Vegas. Yeah, like the roller coaster goes out over the edge type of thing.
Yeah, no.
But it's not quite as tall as the Sears Tower.
But I was fine. Like I'm fine. I'm fine in enclosed height situations like that. Like my wife, like I literally had to hold her hand to come out onto it's literally just like a glass box.
The pools
but
are the
she
ones
was
that
like
scare me.
terrified.
Yeah.
She was terrified, but I'm fine in that. Now, if it had been that same thing outside, like open air, I probably would have been a little bit more nervous.
Seeing pictures of people in the pools that they have that are literally the same thing as that box. It's like a glass box outside of the, the whatever it's called, the side of the building. Those pools are the ones because how much does water weigh, right? So it's not just you and a couple other people standing there. I remember when they put the one in the Grand Canyon, that glass bottom viewer thing, and you had to put like different booties on
I don't know
under
if I
your
would
feet
do
so
that
you
one.
didn't scratch the glass when you were walking.
I don't know if I would do that.
I can pinpoint the exact moment where things like that absolutely terrified me and have continued to do so going into my 30s, and that was watching the second Jurassic Park movie. We talked about the Superman movie. There's also the new Jurassic Park coming out, but that second Jurassic Park movie where the girl she's laying down face first in the glass window of the other Jeep that's over the cliff and how the glass starts to crack. That right there is the reason why I will not walk on a glass platform. I will not be in a glass pool. I refuse anything when it comes to height.
Someone
and
take
glass.
a picture of it for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you can take a picture, send it to me, but I definitely will not be walking on it.
All right, so here we go with your question of the day for today. We hinted at it yesterday, and it's very simple. How many games are the Arizona Wildcats, how many football games are the Arizona Wildcats going to win this season? Head on over right now to Twitter, Wildcats1290. It's actually a question of the week because I'm going to give you 7 days to vote on this one because we're not in any hurry to get an answer on this. So you'll have 7 days you can vote on this. So if you need to think about it, don't worry about it. Think about it for a day or two. You'll have till a week from today at around 2:45, because that's when I put it up, to vote on this one. How many games are the Arizona Wildcats going to win this college football season? 1-3, 4-6, 7-9, or 10+? Head on over right now, wildcatsradio1290.com, or I'm sorry, not .com, to our Twitter at Wildcats1290, and you can vote. Right now, about what I expected, 63%, by an overwhelming margin, 63% of the people say 4 to 6 games will be the total. 4 to 6 games will be the total this year for the Arizona Wildcats. 26% saying 7-9. That's second. 11% saying 1-3. Nobody's going in all in yet at 10+ wins for the Wildcats.
What was it last year? It would have probably been 9.
Last year was what, we were 4-8?
No, I mean the predictions preseason from fans as to how many wins they thought they would have last year.
I think, we all said 8 or 9.
Yeah.
We all said 8 or 9 last year. So, yeah, people don't think, so they won 4 games. So, not much better. People don't think this team is going to be much better than they were last year when they won 4 games.
I like their quarterback. I really like their defensive backs, right? It's just like there's some holes they need to fix. Love their new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives going in. I just think there's a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouths from the high expectations going into last season. It's always worse, DK, when you have a program that maybe doesn't always get those 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. And then they have a big year where they get an Alamo Bowl win, and then the expectations go through the roof. And obviously they had a good roster, but I think the injuries were a huge factor. Just not a lot of replacements behind those first-string guys who went down.
No. Yeah, I think that this season, it's only based on the health of everybody, and that is the case for every professional or college athletics program, whether it be football, basketball, gymnastics, or what have you. If you can stay healthy, you're going to have a good chance to be in a lot of games here. I think that there might be a chance for a pretty decent season. I don't know necessarily about top end of the conference, but I definitely think you're going to see them at the very least be back in the middle of that grouping in the Big 12 this season.
All right, so let's do this we'll do this right now. We'll do it right now, and then after we go through fall camp and get an assessment of what we've seen, we'll do it again later. But since we didn't get a preseason poll from the Big 12 this year, that was one of the reasons we decided to do this now with how many you think they're going to win. Let's go down the line. Home versus Hawaii. I say that's a win.
I say it's a win.
Yeah. I think they get a win over Hawaii.
Yeah. Home versus Weber State. Win.
Yeah.
Win.
Home on a Friday versus Kansas State. The revenge Friday night game to start Big 12 conference play. Retro night, they're calling it, on Fox, on the main Fox network. I'm going to say that's a loss.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I know that's a really tough program. I'm not so sure what Kansas State. I have to even look. I mean, I'm not really prepped to do the entire run through for the entire season.
It's just an early straw
No,
poll.
I understand. It's
no
first
preparation.
blush. First blush.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be 14-0.
So I can just put W's for all of these
Why
for
not?
you. All right, Dragon Ball.
I think that this will be a win. It'll be a close one.
Okay.
I think that I don't think that this is going to be the same Kansas State squad from last season. You got to remember they were number 14 in the nation.
Yeah, 9-5,
going
9
into
and
that
4,
contest.
9 and
So,
4 was their final record.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a different Kansas State squad. I think this is going to be a close game. I'd probably take Arizona winning by 4 points or
All
something.
right, so both of you guys have them at 3-0. I have them at 2-1. At Iowa State, I think that's a loss as well.
I'll say that's a loss myself.
Yeah, loss.
Okay. Home versus Oklahoma State. This is an interesting one because Oklahoma State was very bad, was pitiful.
Yeah.
Last year,
uncharacteristically
not
pitiful.
the usual Gundy squad there.
I think they'll win that game. I'm gonna put a win in for Hispanic Heritage Night against Oklahoma State.
I'll take a win on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Win.
I think I think, especially for the home games against teams that maybe aren't a dominant current team, I like the Arizona Wildcats' chances at home for sure.
Home versus BYU.
That one, I'm not sure. That one, I'm thinking that might be a loss there.
Is that like Polynesian Heritage game?
That is family weekend.
Family weekend,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So there you go. There'll be a lot of folks from the families. Well, they come every weekend, but so I'm gonna say BYU. Ooh, that's the rivalry game. I'm gonna say loss there. J-Dub, you're.
I don't know, man. I would love to get a win over the Cougars. I know football is their their proudest.
I'm gonna put win for you, DA.
Yeah, I was saying that BYU game, that's probably gonna be a loss. I'll take a loss on that one.
I don't know. I don't even know what is Reslap still there?
Who?
Their quarterback.
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
Mr. Sexual Assault guy. No.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
He's gone. At Houston, beat him here last year. I think you beat him on the road. I'm gonna say win there.
I'm gonna say that's a loss.
Loss. Okay.
I'm gonna say that's a loss there.
J-Dub.
We'll say Houston at Houston win.
Okay, J-Dub's got him at 6-1 through 7 games.
Yep, like I said.
Homecoming against Kansas.
Oh, we're just gonna skip that Colorado game.
I'm sorry.
In
no,
Boulder.
we don't need to see Coach Prime. We don't need to see Coach Prime.
At Colorado. We won there on a late second field goal a few years ago. I'm going to say loss there, too.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to say that's a win.
Oh. Okay.
I'll get the win over Colorado, but not the win over Houston.
Homecoming at home against Kansas.
Win.
That's a win. Yeah, I'll take a win on that.
Okay. Everybody thinks they'll beat Kansas. At Cincinnati.
No. I'm blaming the travel as the greatest opponent to that game.
9 a.m. our time, which that's going to be that game where we're going to be doing the pregame show at 5:30 in the morning.
Breakfast with the Wildcats.
Breakfast with the Wildcats.
So you think they'll lose that game?
I think that one's. I'm going to blame that solely on the travel. That's going to be
I'll
game.
Go. Yeah, I think that's a loss too.
Yeah,
J-Dub?
Same
loss. Okay. Senior Day against Baylor at home. Baylor, usually good, not as good last year. I'm going to say we win on Senior Day.
I wish I could share your confidence.
No,
I actually have that as a loss for me.
Okay.
I will say they win.
Okay.
Baylor at home for Senior Day.
At Arizona State for the 99th Territorial Cup
But
game.
that's obviously a win.
That's a win.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's no question about that.
I'm saying they lose that game, so I'm sorry. They're not gonna go up there and win.
I think I got them at 7.
They couldn't win there when they had good teams.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have 12 and 2.
12 and 2. So
all right,
I've
got them at 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. J-Dub has them at 9 and 3. And Dragon Ball, you have them with 5 losses, so 7 and 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think more than anything, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Noah. And I think under the new leadership of that offensive coordinator, as long as he gets a tiny bit of protection, they run the ball a little bit better than they did last year. I just think I can't root against Noah Fafita in his 3rd year as a starting quarterback at Arizona. Might not have quite that singular weapon that he did last year. Mm-hmm. And the defense, I really like the defensive back. So if they get a little pressure.
What do they call that on the Rich Eisen show when they do this?
That's a good question.
It's like they do it with the NFL team.
Yes.
Like you can call up. So we may start something like that. If you want to call in and give us we'll go down but it's only U of A football. So you can call in and tell us. We'll go through the games and you can tell us what you think. And maybe we'll start compiling a list and we'll have all the callers and we'll see who has it in the end.
And then at the end of the season, we'll list we'll talk about all the people who called in preseason. We'll laugh at those who were wrong.
Exactly. All right, DK on the sports tip coming up. Diamondbacks download in the 5 o'clock hour, as well as we're going to hear more from you. We talked about Ty Buchanan, the new offensive lineman from Texas Tech. We'll hear from him coming up in the 5 o'clock hour as well. Dragon Ball, tell us about what's happening at sports in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, the Mercury saw the big win we saw yesterday over the Lynx, but the team did end up making a quick move as they announced this morning they are waiving guard Kiana Williams this morning. Williams had only appeared in 4 games so far this season, but she helped the Mercury get 3 wins out of those 4, particularly with her 3-point shooting from beyond the arc. The Mercury will be going and having their next game on Monday against the Valkyries. So we'll see how the roster shakes up after that. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks saw a little bit of magic back in Brandon Pfaadt's right arm as he managed to go ahead and dominate with a career-high 8 innings pitched. Kept the Padres searching for their first run until the 5th inning. Meanwhile, it was Geraldo Perdomo managing to put the game well out of reach for San Diego in the 5th.
Load the bases now for Geraldo Perdomo. Swung on, that's hit well, deep right field, clean the bases, a grand slam, Geraldo Perdomo, his 10th of the season, and the Diamondbacks now open up a huge lead. It's 6-0 in the 5th.
Perdomo this season has been huge with men on base, now 64 RBIs on the year for Jerry. Just a beautiful swing, keeps his head on it the whole way.
Again, the chance now to have the win in the extended series against the Padres. The Diamondbacks send out Eduardo Rodriguez to the hill at 6:40 for the first pitch. The home run derby field is now officially final as Athletics' Brent Rooker and Yankees star Chaz Chisholm Jr. finish out the lineup. Rooker is on pace to reach the 30 home run mark for the 3rd straight season, knocking out 19 thus far. Chisholm, meanwhile, has 17 dingers, but 13 of those have been at the confines of Yankee Stadium. Though both will join the field of Atlanta's Ronald Acuna Jr., Minnesota's Byron Buxton, Tampa Bay's Junior Caminero, Pittsburgh's O'Neill Cruz, who is my pick to win it, hopefully, Seattle's Cal Riley, and Washington's James Wood. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Wetmore and Flowing Wells, some slowing at the intersection. Fort Lowell and Oracle was slowing on Oracle at Fort Lowell, 22nd Street near 4th Avenue, and also Swan and Camp Lowell. 84 the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, and 108 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Member Week is here at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Join for free today and get ready to save more. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? Or when you had a green light but did some extreme braking because another driver decided to turn left in front of you. And we've all had to navigate monsoon downpours that turned our streets into Arizona's largest slip and slide. At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires, the best deal, and a huge in-stock selection of the brands you trust. And now's the time to save big with the most rebates we've seen all year on the brands you love, like Michelin, Cooper, and Uniroyal tires, with up to $100 back all month long. And Jack Furrier cardholders get back another $30. Check out jackfurriers.com for details on all our sizzling summer savings. So for all those critical moments where your tires make the difference, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. That is our phone number. Final hour of today's show. We'll be back with you tomorrow for a 3-hour extravaganza heading into the weekend and then back on Monday. Next week will be what I like to term anniversary week. All my anniversaries are next week. My wedding anniversary is next week. My anniversary of moving to Tucson, which is now will be 17 years ago this summer. Exactly. That'll be next week. My anniversary of, well, it's no longer my anniversary of starting in TV because I don't work in television anymore, but I started in television in mid-July as well. So a lot of stuff to talk about, and we'll dive into all of that next week. Don't forget, again, our question of the day right now. Head on over to Wildcats 1290. How many football games will the Arizona Wildcats football team win this year? J-Dub thinks they're going to be really good. He always does. David actually hit it right on the head last year with, I think, what you said, or not last year. It was it last year or was it the year before you hit it? Well, I think it was the year before when we were actually when they were really good. I think you said they would win 9 games.
I think we all thought they would be 8-9 win team last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the consensus.
Yeah, that was the consensus. So right now, 4-6 is leading at 62%. So be sure to head on over and vote on that. All right. Yesterday, one of the guys, Brent Brennan, was asked who he thought might be who stood out. Guys that stood out during the spring. One of the guys that he said stood out was a transfer lineman who will be new to the team this year named Ty Buchanan. Now, Ty Buchanan, we mentioned, started his career at USC and then transferred to Texas Tech and played last year, played in 11, started 7 games last season. He is primarily a tackle, probably will play on the right side because you've obviously got Rhino Tapo Ototai, who's on the left side, and you figure he'll probably stay there. So Ty Buchanan will probably be your right tackle unless they decide they want to maybe move him inside. He's a Corpus Christi, Texas native. I talk ad nauseum how you've got to recruit Texas and get Texas kids in here to play, and he's going to be one of those guys. And interestingly enough, the backstory on Ty Buchanan, he is vegetarian. vegetarian is Ty Buchanan. And so let's hear from Ty Buchanan a little bit on that, as well as on playing in this up-tempo offense that Seth Dagey is going to bring in here.
Sort of came from like a tempo offense, so it's really doing the same thing, to be honest, and it's nice to go into the same offense at a different program.
Are you vegetarian or vegan?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian. How long ago did you decide to do that, and how does that impact you, or do you feel like you're missing anything with the protein and all that with the position you play?
I've been vegetarian my whole life, actually, so my whole family's vegetarian as well. And from an outside perspective, it can kind of look like how's this guy on the O-line being vegetarian, but it's my lifestyle now. I'm used to it, so it's not really any challenges like for me at all.
These guys give you any grief for it?
Yes. It's all fun. It's all fun and games, yeah.
Have you ever tried to get them to try vegetable?
I have, yeah.
I tried the tofu.
Yeah,
I'm not a big tofu guy. I tried it. It wasn't my favorite. I'm going to stick with steak, but give it a shot.
Who's the defensive lineman that you go up against the most, whether that's in one-on-ones or team settings, and what is the battle like with that player?
For us tackles, it's usually Trey or Dom, and iron sharpens iron, and I'm excited to practice against those guys every day because I think they're great edges, and they're only going to make us better.
Tristan Bounds was the one that was talking in the background there. He's another new transfer in from Michigan who said that, I've tried tofu, but I'm going to stick with steak. I have never eaten tofu. Have either of the two of you ever? I don't even
Hundreds
really
of times,
know
yes.
what that is.
It's
what
bean
is it?
curds. Bean curd.
Bean curds.
Yeah.
So how do you cook it?
It's kind of a meat substitute. It depends. Like, there's actually not one type of tofu. There's many different types of tofu. So you can get it softer, a little harder, silky. There's a bunch of different stuff. So, yeah, it's good if you like a stir fry, that kind of thing, as a little bit of a meat substitute, little chunks type of thing. But I don't go out of my way to buy tofu, but I've been to many dinner parties and places like that where people served it, and I didn't, put it in my napkin and put it under the table.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Dinner
I like
party, dinner party, J-Dub over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
You've eaten tofu, Dragon Ball? Or
I've had tofu once or twice. I definitely, as someone who is more of a carnivore when it comes to my diet, I tend to try to stay away from it for the sheer fact of I understand people that don't like meat. I'm one of those people that don't like fake meat. And that's kind of how I've always kind of viewed tofu and the Impossible Burgers and things like that.
I like tofu. I don't like tofu being shaped into a turkey form.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense
That to me has, I knew one person in college who they had tofu for like a dinner or something like that they prepared for themselves. And they shaped it out to look like a steak where it had the little actual like circular bone at the top of it because they thought they were being funny. I'm like, listen, just make it into the block and just eat it. Don't go into the extra effort of having an art degree with your meat. It doesn't need to happen that way.
So when you look at this offensive line for Arizona, you look at you got Michael Wooten, who's going to be back this year. Big guy, had a little bit of an injury early in camp last year, and so missed some time. He was at Oregon. Jordan Brown, a redshirt senior, Georgia Tech. Ty Buchanan, redshirt senior, Texas Tech. Tristan Bounds, redshirt senior, Michigan. And then, of course, the young guy. The young guy is Alexander Deuce. He's from Northwestern. So it seems like, again, they have gone out when you talk about the transfer portal. And then Chuba Maye, who's come over and from the defensive side to the offensive line. So a lot of transfers in, older guys on that offensive line. That's going to be the big question mark. Is the offensive line going to be, what are they going to be? On paper, you've got some guys coming from some big-time programs. The question will be, can they meld and can they play together? And can they play in this new system under Seth Dagey?
You would imagine you need a lot of guys too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
If you're going up
God.
tempo.
Oh, yeah, you need a lot of guys.
Yeah.
You need a lot of guys. And they've been practicing that, according to Josh Oglesby. Let's hear from the offensive line coach of your Arizona Wildcats just about this new offense, the pace of it, and some of the things they've been trying to do to get the guys up front ready to play in this Seth Dagey system.
We were a spread offense last year. Maybe not the exact style that we're playing now. But at the end of the day, blocking people is blocking people. Zone is zone, and gap schemes are gap schemes. There are subtle differences and a few different techniques that we've had to employ with some of the schemes that we're running. But at the end of the day, offensive line play is offensive line play, which has kind of been cool for Coach Daigie to kind of come in and us to kind of blend the two worlds together, and obviously build it in his image, but allow us to still be who we are.
I think you guys were doing a drill out there where it seemed like it was just respotting the ball, and the offensive and defensive linemen just had to kind of run and get reset. Is that what that was?
No, yeah, that's our 5-on-4 drill.
This offense is obviously a lot faster paced. So how much of an emphasis is it for the offensive linemen to really be as fit as possible?
It's huge, right? Coach Brennan says all the time we can only go as fast as our slowest offensive lineman, which sometimes kind of digs at me a little bit. But I'm like, hey, we're not the fastest people in the world. But our ability to get lined up as quick as we can is paramount to our offense. And that drill is kind of a twofold drill. One, it shows them the pace at which we need to do things, but it also makes them execute while they're tired, understanding slide protection, understanding their pass protection rules, understanding their set angles, and all that stuff. So it's a really great drill that Coach Joe brought to us, and it's we've done it now. Was this practice 6? Maybe we've done it 4 times, and it's really been beneficial for us.
All right, so it sounds a lot like what we saw back in the day. We were talking about Rich Rodriguez yesterday. Very similar.
How much loud music is playing? What music is playing?
That's going to be. I wasn't there for a lot of the spring, so I have no idea.
That was
how
his
much
thing, though, right? Like they used to pump the craziest, loudest music to try to get the atmosphere up during practices.
But they have. We talk about the numbers. It looks like they've got about 16 offensive linemen right now on the roster. Grayson Stovall obviously is a guy that saw some time last year, local out of Chandler, Hamilton. You've also got the young man that transferred last year over from New Mexico, who is back this year. These names. Matuate. I forget. He's got a nickname. I forget exactly what it is. But he transferred over. Didn't see really much time last year. So they've got a bunch of guys. Kiana DeCambra's over from Hawaii this year. And I mentioned Chuba has transitioned from defense to offense. So there's going to be a lot of guys fighting for those positions. And there's a lot of experience. So you hope that experience will be a benefit to this offense and to quarterback Noah Fafita this season for the Arizona Wildcats. We'll continue to kind of break things down as we go along and lead you up to fall camp over the course of the next 3 weeks as we get you set for another season of Arizona Wildcats football. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Give us a call if you've eaten tofu. I want to know what are your thoughts on tofu? Tofu yay? Tofu nay? I've never eaten it.
Here's what you need to do. Go home tonight and go to YouTube and type in how to make tofu.
Oh, yeah. That's fun.
Well, maybe that will make that our question of the day tomorrow.
Maybe you'll understand it.
Tofu yay? Tofu nay?
I think you'll understand it a little bit better if you watch the process of making it.
Yes.
Put it that way.
I'll understand like that I don't want to eat it?
No, you'll just understand what it is, and you'll be less like,
Okay.
what the heck is that?
Mm-hmm. All right. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. Diamondbacks are playing the final game of their series tonight in San Diego. We'll dive into that next. Cricket, tell us what we need to know.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. This is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions that are reported Wetmore and Flowing Wells, there are some backups on northbound Flowing Wells approaching Wetmore, on 22nd Street near 4th Avenue and also Irvington to the east of Palo Verde. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats radio. And your weather, 84 the low, 105 tomorrow, and 107 now. Wildcats radio, 1290.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right. What's right? What the singing people just said.
Gary, you have your earbuds in. I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, this.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
Hi, guys. What's right? That I have my earbuds in. No, you don't.
We were listening to the singing people.
Maybe I should go out and come back in again.
It's the thing about how we arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, right. It's the Alaskan AC guarantee, so people aren't left waiting for a repairman. Don't we have singing people for that? Yes. Here, use my earbuds. Gross.
Just play it, Gary.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
That's right.
I know, right?
Right. I'm glad we had this meeting.
AlaskanAC.com.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
We pass them on the streets every day. Our homeless neighbors are facing Tucson's brutal summer heat and storms. Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain with Gospel Rescue Mission. That's why we've launched Operation Rescue from the Heat, a safe, cool place, meals, showers, clean clothes, and an invitation to our life-transforming programs. With your support, lives are being saved and dignity is being restored. If you want to help or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Make the most of summer with stylish looks from Kohl's and Kohl's.com, where families come first. Caitlin Clark returned to the Indiana Fever's lineup yesterday after missing 5 games with a groin injury. However, it wasn't a very joyous occasion for Clark, since her squad was blown out at home by the Golden State Valkyries 80-61. Indiana shot only 6 of 27 from three-point land as they dropped their second straight game. Clark finished with 10 points and 6 assists in her return.
The offense, I think, for us, it starts on defense, and we, struggled, scouting report-wise, we struggled personnel, we struggled to do what the coaches asked of us, and then, we just played with more energy and effort, and, those are the things that just can't happen.
Clark and the 9 and 10 Fever are back in action tomorrow against the Atlanta Dream. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments, like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Did you know there are more ways than ever to save with Allstate? Like adding more cars to your policy means you could save more. Same with bundling home and auto. More savings. Oh, and staying safe on the road? Ding, ding, ding. You guessed it, more savings. So check Allstate first, and you could save more today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Potential savings and prices vary, including based on how you buy. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly led the way for Brandon Fott.
And he's looking good. The sweeper is a strikeout. 3-2. Got him! Brandon Fott rings up Fernando Tatis. Fott goes 8 innings in San Diego. 2 runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts. Sensational.
What an outing for Brandon Fott to get his 9th win of the year. 99 pitches. His offense came ready to give him the support that he needed last night in San Diego.
McCann lines one to left, and this one's going to go. James McCann, upper deck at Petco, and the Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead.
That was in the 3rd, and then in the 4th, it was Gino.
Suarez in the air to left. Johnson's at the track. He's at the wall, and this one is gone. We know it's Gino. That's 29, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. It had just enough to get out of here.
But the big blow came in the 5th. There were Diamondbacks all over the desert for Geraldo Perdomo.
Perdomo cranks one down the line. That ball's headed for the corner, and there it goes. Geraldo Perdomo with a grand slam in Slam Diego. And it's 6-0 Diamondbacks.
Slam Diego, says Steve Bertoom. Adding the icing in the 9th was Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll wants to join the home run parade all the way to the wall, and that one's not getting robbed. His 21st, he'd been 0 for 4 with 4 punch-outs, and there's a little icing on the cake.
Yeah, you remember the night before, Jackson Merrill was out there robbing folks, and Fernando Tatis was out there robbing folks.
What, no solo Diego on that one?
No solo Diego on that one. We'll take those home runs, though. 21 now for Carroll, 29 for Gino, 10 for Perdomo, 8-2 the final. Diamondbacks have taken 2 of the first 3 in this 4-game series, with game number 4 coming up tonight. Afterward, Torey Lovello and the performance by one Brandon Fott after they made the decision to let him go out there and pitch in the 8th inning.
It was after the 7th that I went down there, and I had my mind on taking him out of the game. And I was going down there. I said, "Good job, man. That's it." He goes, "No, I'm good. I'm good." So what I've learned over the course of time is when somebody's feeling that powerful in the moment, and we have a little bit of wiggle room, to get out of their way. And I said, "All right, I'm going to keep you on a short leash. Go out there and do it. Show me what you're capable of doing." And he went out there and probably, according to James McCann, had his best inning. So it was a really powerful moment for him. It told me that he's feeling as good as he probably has, and I wanted to let him get that feeling and capitalize on what he's capable of doing and capable of building.
I might have to add him back. I let Brandon Fott go from my fantasy team a few weeks ago when he was just horrible. I might have to go out there and get him back.
No. You made your decision. You're gonna have to stick by it.
I made a lot of decisions. I've made a lot of roster moves. Are you telling me I can't make another roster move?
Well, no, I'm saying that you can make another roster move, but there's a situation where just because the guy has one really good game does not mean you need to take him back.
Okay.
You got to see a consistency about that with bringing guys back into your lineup. That Brandon Fott had a fantastic game this last outing. Don't get me wrong. 8 strong innings. You love to see that from a starting pitcher. That is the first really good Brandon Fott outing we've seen out of him in a long while. There's a reason that parlay was induced because of his potential start in the game yesterday.
Well, we'll see. I'm debating right now. In fact, I was debating in the break whether I should bring him back to my roster or not. Well, but Mr. Dragon Ball says to hold off, so we may do that. Torey on the power display in San Diego.
Offensively, we're capable of doing that against anybody at any time. Dylan Cease is a very good pitcher, and we went out there and built innings and had the right guy come up at the right time with a bunch of slugs. So I think that's a good recipe for what our team is capable of doing when we're patient and get on via the walk. We just fight. We fight every single day, and it was good to get that one.
You know what's also a recipe for the Arizona Diamondbacks is starting pitching. Starting pitching. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt. How about 1 walk to 17 strikeouts in these last 3 games? An ERA of 1.29 so far through this series for those guys. That's a recipe there. Great starting pitching, says Torey Lovello.
Our starters are starting to go out there and dominate. We feel very good about that group. We always have, and we've been looking for them to get on this kind of a roll. So, yeah, if they're going to carry the load, that's one group that we feel like they're capable of doing what they're doing, and it's been very powerful. They've kept us in a lot of baseball games.
Pass the ball. Tonight, it'll go to Eduardo Rodriguez. He's been up and down. He showed a few games. Had a couple of back-to-back good starts, but then went back into the tank last time out. He's 3-5 with a 5.78 earned run average. And Randy Vasquez will get the ball tonight for the Padres, 3-4, a 3.79 earned run average. Arizona's actually the favorite in this game tonight on the money line. How about that? Diamondbacks at -130 at the Desert Diamond Casino. If you want to take your D-backs
no
tonight.
on that one.
No. This one, there's a good shot at them actually getting the extended series victory here. Again, the reason why I said what I said about Brandon Pfaadt, again, 6 hits and 8 Ks in the last time that he started against San Francisco, but he gave up 4 runs. And then the game before that against Miami, he didn't take the decision, but gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 86 pitches. So he only went through 5 innings deep. He hadn't gone any further than the 6th outside of the game in San Francisco. In fact, that 6th inning was his longest outing since June started. So seeing him go 8 innings and have a strong performance, very good to see. But like I said, Pfaadt, he hadn't been doing too well since the season turned to summer here.
Over under 8.5 tonight at -122 on the over in this game, if you'd like to bet that. 6:40 is first pitch for this finale, and then it's on to Anaheim and a weekend series with the L.A. Angels. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I want to tell you, I mentioned it in the last hour, I've got a sweet deal for you. I mean, this is a sweet deal. This might be one of the better ones we've had. I think I might actually have to look into getting this one. It is Twisted Union Wine Company. Half off an ultimate luxury estate house suite with wine tasting for 2. $252.50. Originally, this is a $505 2-night stay. But you're getting it for $252.50. It's a 2-night stay in one of Twisted Union's luxury estate house suites. Private wine tasting for 2 with their wine maker. 15% bottle discount on any purchase you make during your stay. So you can go there and get wine for 15% off. Maximum of 2 guests, 21 and over, because there's wine tasting involved. Your stay must be booked by New Year's Eve, and your travel must be completed before March 31st of next year. Twisted Union Wine Company, located in Elgin. Their guest suites put you in the heart of the Sonoyta Elgin Winery Row, offering sweeping views of surrounding mountains and vineyards. I don't know if you've ever gone out there and sat down and just gotten lost in the views. I have done that. It is really cool to do. You can book each suite individually or together and enjoy all the privacy of your personal suite. It's a perfect place to relax and recharge, complete with a soaking tub, walk-in closet, mini fridge, and a coffee maker. More info at twistedunionwinecompany.com or by calling 520-455-5582. That's 520-455-5582. $252.50, a sweet deal this Friday. WildcatsRadio1290.com, 8:30 a.m. for Twisted Union Wine Company, a 2-night stay in one of their luxury estate house suites. I'll see if I can get a picture of that up on our Twitter page as well and on our website. So follow us on all of our social media accounts, Wildcats Radio 1290, Wildcats 1290. Don't forget, our app is the place to be. Stay connected with everything. Arizona Wildcats play-by-play, latest news on your teams. It's all in one place. The Wildcats Radio 1290 app, sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions. Show your app to the 1290 crew when we're out, and we're going to tell you how you can win some money. In fact, if you go to the app right now, you can watch the program. You can message the station via three different ways. Three different ways you can message the show and the station. You can send us a text message on our app. Just hit message the station. You can send us an audio message if you want to rant about tofu. I mean, I think J-Dub just sent me a text on how to make it. If you want to rant about tofu.
I've never made tofu, but I've watched people make tofu a few times, yeah.
You can send us an audio rant on our app. You can also send us pictures and videos if you want to send us a picture of you making tofu, or if you want to send us a picture of you, a video, I should say, of you making tofu. You can do all of that on our app, the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. And don't forget, all of our interviews are up there if you missed us talking to anyone, if you missed our conversation with the Houston Cougars football team the other day, all of that is on our app. All right, 520-848-1290. We've got one more segment to go. I still have not gotten into this whole thing with Sophie Cunningham and what she said about my hometown. So, or what I say she didn't say, because she didn't even know this. She didn't even know what cities she was talking about. Sophie used to be on my good list. Now you're going to be on my S list. We'll get into that coming up as well.
Do you like soy sauce?
I don't dislike soy sauce, but I prefer teriyaki sauce if you're asking me an either or question there.
No, soybeans are what you use to make tofu. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. I thought I recognized that there was some type of connection.
Remember when the American agriculture industry went upside down and stopped planting corn and started planting soybeans? Yeah,
right.
That would be why.
Okay. FC Tucson did not lose. FC Tucson drew last night on the road against Capo FC. So they are now 7 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. They're coming home. Home finale, season finale, regular season finale, Sunday at Keno North Stadium against Stars FC. That'll be 7 p.m. Get on out and see FC Tucson. We've also got racing. We haven't really talked much about NASCAR. We got to do that more. I always say we got to. NASCAR kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but we've got to talk more about that. We've got racing at Tucson Speedway this coming up this weekend, so we'll get into that and let you know what's happening out at the Speedway as well. That was the one thing we missed in Chicago last week was they had the street race, the NASCAR street race. And it was Saturday and Sunday, and we left on Saturday. And it was kind of south of where we were staying, so we didn't really get a chance to see much of the setup of it either. But it was everybody. We saw people wearing NASCAR gear all through town while we were there. So,
been to any of the major races?
I have never been to a NASCAR race, like a cup race.
I meant any racing venue.
Well, we had a road course race, IndyCar race in Cleveland, so I've been to that.
I went to the Indy 500 once long time ago.
Yeah,
long time ago. But that's like the only real big racing event, calendar event that I've been to.
Yeah, I've not been. No, I've never been to Indy or any of those. I've never been to, like I said, I've never been to an Indy race or F1 or any of that.
I was rooting for Rick Mears.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good guy to root for sure. Everybody is rooting for cricket to tell them how hot it is outside and how to get home safely.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Flowing Wells in Wetmore, earlier crash, still some slowing at the intersection, mostly northbound Flowing Wells approaching Wetmore. Also wrecks reported Irvington east of Palo Verde and Elm to the east of Tucson Boulevard. 84 the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, and 107 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. There's more to Taco Bell's Luxe Cravings boxes than you'd expect. Unless you're expecting the choice between 3 lavish boxes of Taco Bell favorites, then you're spot on. Choose yours today, only at Taco Bell. For a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around the house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took out the linoleum. I stripped out the linoleum.
Am I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health, too, with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We pass them on the streets every day. Our homeless neighbors are facing Tucson's brutal summer heat and storms. Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain with Gospel Rescue Mission. That's why we've launched Operation Rescue from the Heat, a safe, cool place, meals, showers, clean clothes, and an invitation to our life-transforming programs. With your support, lives are being saved and dignity is being restored. If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Cool down in Arizona wine country. You can beat the heat and enjoy a cool change of scenery minutes from Tucson. Visit Twisted Union Wine Company in Elgin, Arizona to experience award-winning wines, 5-star estate house accommodations, and sweeping views of the surrounding mountains and vineyards located in the heart of Winery Row. Twisted Union Wine Company invites you to enjoy a little luxury this summer. Book now at 520-455-5582 or email info@twistedunionwinecompany.com.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Twisted Union Wine Company. You can get half off a luxury estate house suite that includes a 2-night stay in one of the Twisted Union luxury estate house suites, private wine tasting, and 15% bottle discount on any purchase made during the stay. That's a $505 value, but you only pay $250. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
This is Gresh with the Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Last night in Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Messi experience visited New England. A lot of people are making a big deal that the first time Messi came to Gillette, it was 65,000 people, and last night it was only around 50,000. It's 50,000 people for MLS. I don't care who's out there. That's still a pretty good number. People want to compare year to year, but to me, it just doesn't make sense. Messi is working. I'm Gresh.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show for today. Get in. Last chance. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. How about, I think it was last week when we were out, I was tweeting about how when Coco Gauff lost at the Wimbledon, how disappointing American tennis was right now. And but we're making a resurgence in the last week. How about Amanda Anisimova today with the big upset at Wimbledon? Knocked out the number 1 ranked player in the world, Aryna Sabalenka, 6-4, 4-6, 6-4 on center court. So we will have an American woman in the final at Wimbledon. And we've got a couple of guys, I think 2 guys, or at least 1 guy, that is still in contention on the men's side. So, hey, we know the Americans might just be ready to try to get themselves at least 1 man. Taylor Fritz is the lone man, and he's going to face Carlos Alcaraz.
Good job.
At
Good luck,
5:30 in the morning.
Alcaraz, man, that guy's got a heater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But so this is the semifinals coming up tomorrow. And then the number 1 seeded player, center, will take on Joker, the other Joker in this whole thing. So that'll be a good one to watch. But it was unfortunate because I think he was losing, wasn't? I believe center was losing his match, or he beat. I'm sorry, no, he beat the American. It was another match. Where a guy retired. He beat the other American that was still left in the quarterfinals in straight sets, 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. So 2 Americans got to the quarterfinals, and Taylor Fritz, who I remember he had to survive. We were actually watching that match in the airport when we were traveling to Chicago last Tuesday, and he was down. I think he lost the first 2 sets and had to come back and win the last 3 sets to claim that match. So Taylor Fritz has built upon that save in the first round and gotten himself to the semifinals. So good on American tennis. That's what we want to see. We want to see American men. We have a chance now to get, again, it's going to be not easy. Carlos Alcaraz is, if not the best player in the world. Some will tell you he's the best player in the world.
Good.
But we might be able to get an American man into the final finally.
The reason there was a bit of a fever for American tennis in the 80s and 90s, well, 70s, 80s, and 90s, was because of the consistency and the multiple names, right? We had all that whole conversation. So I would love to see Americans, even in the finals, maybe you finish second is fine, but do that consistently in all the majors, and then the hype starts to grow, and then you start to get so much more support, because there's nothing Americans like more, DK, than rooting for Americans.
Taylor Fritz is, again, he's the 5th ranked player in the world. Carlos Alcaraz is ranked number 2. So get up early. I guess you can bet on tennis. They don't give us any plays at BetMGM Network on tennis, but apparently you can bet on tennis. I'm seeing 2 things here. Over 3.5 sets at -115. So let's go see. This is Alcaraz Fritz. Over 3.5 sets. That's a pretty good bet. I would take they'll probably go at least 4 sets. So you're betting on 4 or 5 sets there. Or Alcaraz over 20.5 games. I don't exactly know what that means.
Yeah, like number of games per set, right? So
six
total
games,
is 6 games.
Total games.
Yeah,
over,
total games.
Oh, or is that how many games he'll win? Alcaraz will win over 20.
Well, if you win 18 games, you win the set, so it can't be that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, unless he swept. If he swept, it wouldn't be. But if it went 5 sets and he won,
true. Yes, very true.
6 and 3 and some other.
Maybe that's got to be it. Yeah, if he'll win 20 or more.
So which one? So we'll take. Let's just take one for effect. We'll take over, since I understand over 3.5 sets more than I understand Alcaraz winning 20.5 games. We'll take over 3.5 sets at minus 115, and we'll put that on our ledger for tomorrow.
14-0.
There we go. All right. I wanted to get to this Sophie Cunningham. I talked about it. So let's hear Sophie Cunningham putting her foot in her mouth last week.
I also think that you want to listen to your players too. Like, where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? And I do think that Miami would have been a great one. Like, everyone loves Florida. Nashville is an amazing city. Kansas City, amazing opportunity. There's a huge arena downtown that no one's using. And I think that the Women's Soccer League is showing that, like, people draw, and so I'm not so sure what the thought process is there. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that's also another thing, that you don't want teams to totally dominate and then have teams that aren't. And so I just think that it's kind of a hard decision-making situation. But man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cincinnati.
So Sophie was talking about the expansion. Expansion was announced once again in the WNBA. Detroit and Cleveland are going to be getting teams. Sophie said, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit and Cincinnati.
That's like how you upset a lot of different fan bases, right? Because the Cincinnati fans are upset, the Cleveland fans are upset.
If you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. That whole adage. But the thing is that to me, for Sophie, as someone who has loathed the state of Ohio when it comes to my sports fandom for such a long time, I don't see a difference between the two cities either. as Joakim Noah once famously said, what's so good about Cleveland?
Right.
Let's go to Cincinnati.
He was the last one. He was the last one that put his foot. Yeah. He said, I don't hear people talking about taking vacations in Cleveland.
I think you got to consider the source. Like, she's from Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly she named all the places. Everybody loves Miami, of course, South Beach, but the places she named, DK, are all places right around where she grew.
Yeah, like Nashville and everything else like that.
So, of course, she's going to shout out those places.
Okay.
However, the whole part of
she's
not understanding this name of the city you grew up in, that's a bad
The arena in
look.
Kansas City, that's obviously where I think she was referring to the building where they play the Big 12 championships. So maybe they can go get that checkered colored court out there and try to get themselves a WNBA team. But, Sophie, I liked Sophie up until she said that. So now I don't think I like Sophie Cunningham anymore. So there you go, Sophie. Go on with your life. All right, Desert Diamond Casino replay for today. And we had a chance to talk to Trey Henry from the Tucson Sugar Skulls about his career trek playing football, growing up in Louisiana, collegiating in Illinois, and then professionally in Arizona.
Yes, sir. I started off out of high school. I went to junior college in Highland, Kansas, and that was around COVID time where a lot of guys were getting their years back, and I just was ready to get out of junior college, and I ultimately decided to go play my ball in Western Illinois. Stayed there for 3 seasons, and then after that, of course, every guy thinks they can go pro, so you want to take the pro route, and mine just didn't work out that way, so I took the opportunity to come play for the Sugar Skulls and been having fun with it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, you when you talk about the opportunity to just keep playing the game that you love, I mean, that is really what it's all about. You guys coming off a huge win on the road at San Antonio. We were talking just earlier in the show. It's like you beat them by 30. This was like 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 weeks after they came in here and beat you guys by 20. That might be a huge loss when you come back to think about it, because if you could have handled business that day, you'd be in a much better position for the postseason. What were the differences between those two games, losing by 20 here versus being able to go on the road and beating San Antonio by 30?
Yeah, it wasn't much of a difference. Like I said earlier, you just have to show up and play every game. Like you can't take a game off. Every time you play someone, you have to go out there and give it your best and play your best. And the first time they came into town, I'll say that we didn't do that. So we got the second chance to go play those guys again, and this time we went out there and put on a show.
Billy Back, obviously the head coach. This is your first season here in Tucson. What was kind of are your early feelings about him and the coaching that you're getting from him and the rest of your defensive staff?
Coach Back is a great coach, and as far as the coaches on the defensive staff, they all take time to make sure each player understands what we have to do. They motivate us. I felt like I've never played for a better staff, even though it's a smaller staff. These guys always make sure that we're taken care of and that we know our jobs and that we execute to the best of our ability. So I say that we have some of the best coaches in the indoor football league, if you ask me.
All right, that was Trey Henry, defensive lineman for your Tucson Sugar Skulls, your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. NBA Summer League in Las Vegas is happening. Today's the first day. We've got the Lakers and the Mavericks up. The Mavericks have an early lead. Cooper Flagg is playing in this game, and apparently Dragon Ball people had to pay, if they wanted to sit courtside at this game, they had to pay a grip to do so.
Yeah, about $3,000 according to what the ticker was saying up here. Average is about $200 to go and see this game. Again, you're seeing Cooper Flagg going up against Bronny James. There's a lot of
Zion was the same when he came out of Duke, and what it is actually is you're buying a memorabilia because 20 years from now, if Cooper's in the Hall of Fame and you have a ticket for the first ever NBA game he played in.
Wait. Are we categorizing this as a NBA game?
It's a ticket to the first game he is in the uniform on. Obviously, these games don't count. The stats don't count. But, art and memorabilia is worth what people are willing to pay for it. And there's going to be a market if Cooper Flagg pans out. And there's also a lot of people in Vegas. Hey, we're in Vegas. Let's go see it. It's always been the first game for the number one pick is generally a big draw. And Cooper's been that dude forever. So everybody wants to go see it.
Not to mention, there's probably also a nice little hefty paper tax for people getting a physical copy of their tickets because they want something that they can carry with them moving forward. Again, like you said, it's a memorabilia thing now.
Or a picture.
I'm not paying $3,000.
Here's my picture of me in the front row watching Cooper. Don't go over.
I'm not paying $3,000.
I'm not paying $3,000 to go to any sporting event. I'm just saying that's what people are paying for this one.
I'm not doing that. All right. Thanks to Trey Henry for joining us today. Thanks to Dragon Ball David Abada and JW Madden and Cricket. My name is David Kelly. Thanks most of all to you for listening. DK on the Sports Tip. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right back here on your home for Arizona Wildcats football, Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Widening work on Grant Road east of Country Club to east of Columbus. Travel shifted, rough ride down to one lane in some areas, and also Dodge Boulevard closed north of and south of Grant. 84 the overnight low, 105 tomorrow and through the weekend, and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a
fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona!
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, scorpion. I saw a scorpion. And I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control. Locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
The countdown to Arizona football is on.
Fires the pass towards the back corner. Touchdown, Arizona. It was Hunter. Yeah, Chris Hunter.
When Chris Hunter and the Cats take the field on August 30th, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the award-winning morning show on America's favorite radio station, The Ticket, The Musers, the podcast.
So right now we're podcasting?
No, not yet.
He just put us into it.
No, I was accidentally podcasting.
Oh, we were for a second, but we're not now.
Well, we want to start intentionally podcasting.
We're back.
That was accidental.
That was a false start. Three,
2, 1.
Every Wednesday, Junior Miller, George Dunham, and Gordon Keith drop a new episode of The Musers, the podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. No one is talking Roadrunners, Sugar Skulls, and FC Tucson like us. We are Southern Arizona's #1 sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290.